Last we left off, the party had descended into the underworld, a massive cavernous world below the lands of Vigil. In this new alien landscape, they were cut off from the light and the stars and engaged with otherworldly monsters in pervasive darkness. After a long descent, you headed west, en route to the city of Katnakur, from which you would turn north and seek out the lair of a crystal dragon known as Clendestrix. It is a long journey between here and there, in unfamiliar terrain, and thus, in the interest of getting it over quickly, bolstered by the confidence of your gunslinger, you elected to move quickly and prepared to fight your way through whatever you encountered. Not long after you set off, you found yourselves in need of fighting, so you fell into an ambush by these strange sea creature humanoid hybrids and a 10-foot tall crab. Instantly, they snared Crane in a net and dragged him beneath the Black Sea. Pushed to use some of your abilities and spells, you fought back against the onslaught. Crane freed himself, and together you eliminated 3 and sent the last fleeing into the inky black. From there, with harvested crab for dinner, you pressed onwards and upwards into a series of raised plateaus of obsidian rock. Eventually, you found a cave to take rest within. However, it became clear that given the surprising cleanliness of this cavern mouth and the clean-picked bones, it was likely the den of an all-consuming ooze of some sort. Nevertheless, with confidence, you scouted and cleared the cave and set camp. As you did, however, dripping from the ceiling became a tarry black pudding, and you felt the acidic bite of the ooze. Its pressing momentum and swallowing of the firelight in the cavern made for some tense moments, and Augustus was nearly lost to it. If it weren't for the healing touch of his sister, the thunderous blasts of the Starwheel revolver, and for Andy's fate-changing magics, this tale may have ended very differently. However, you found rest, and despite the brush with death, prickling fear within this alien world, you awaken to another day of travel and adventure. So, what do you do?
It's a really bad day. But we made up a lot of time, so totally worth it.
I say we push on as fast as we can.
You say we what?
I say push on.
My music was just too loud. I didn't actually hear what you said. Do you want to push on at the same pace? You crazy?
We survived it last time. What's different now?
Barely survived it. Like we were really close.
What's different now is, first off, look at my poor shield. And I'll hold up the black oozed shield, which is now -1. And look at your weird ass. I don't even know what you would call what you wear.
Oh, gnarly.
We took some damage for sure, but if we go slow, we probably still encounter something.
I mean, yeah, but at least we could see it coming.
Like, we have to fight. What's the matter? We see it or not.
Well,
Preparation?
what if we did just a regular pace? We don't have to go super slow, but we could, just try and slow it down a tiny bit. Okay, so like a normal pace. That sounds fair.
Yeah, as cool as I think it is that we should go fast, yeah, maybe we'll just go regular. See how it is? Then maybe we can go back to fast.
How many more days? Let me look at my notes. It was 5 originally, right, Kyle?
Nope, it was 7 originally, 6 to
damn.
7. But you've traveled 1.5, so it's another 4.5 to 5 days to the west of here. And then from there, it would be 4 days north. So it was a total of roughly 11 days of travel, of which you've now accomplished 1.5. So based on, your choice of travel pace, plus or minus another 9 to 10 days.
Trying to choose my last spell of the day.
Oh yeah, I forgot we can do that.
Must be nice having a full spell list to choose from every single day.
How many spells do you have?
How many spells do I have total?
Yeah.
Let me check.
I was thinking about this in my kitchen earlier. It's like, we gotta find you some spell books. We gotta find some wizards, steal their spell books, and hook you up. Not that you're a wizard, by the way. They'll find you more god books.
Yeah, just pray some more. Not including cantrips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
10, okay.
You should just see on your prepared spells, the amount, 10 out of...
Oh, 10 known. Yeah. Okay.
It's really cool being able to choose them. I never have had that before. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that one. What a great idea. Excellent. Okay.
So before we set off, is there anything you guys want to do, prepare, or say before getting started for your second day in the underworld?
A question, Scott, did you attune to the staff? Because I identified it for you.
Question, Kyle, did I attune to the staff? I would like to have.
You're free to, yeah. You guys went for their long rest, so easily enough.
Done.
And then I attuned to the rod.
Which gives you cool shit. Did we say that on camera, what it did? I know we talked about it at the end of the game.
I think we did.
Pretty sure. Yeah, at the end of the game, you
did identified
it, so
Cool.
I ran through it.
Could I investigate? I kind of mentioned it a bit there, but both, is it Kev and I have a -1 to our ACs from this Black Ooze thing? Can I investigate? Is this permanent? Is there something I could do to remedy this, or should I be on the lookout for something better?
Yes. Investigation is fine. I'm trying to think if there's a better skill.
Medicine or nature?
Wouldn't be medicine for sure, but go ahead with investigation. That's fine.
Sure. I will do real. Oh, it's not good. 4.
Yeah, I mean, not totally surprising.
Looking at it.
This is not your forte. Metalworks and woodworking is not exactly your forte. You're better with living things. But just at a quick glance, your shield and Decrean scimitar, the metal specifically is like significantly pockmarked, as if dissolved in acid. So you can see the structural integrity and the edge, especially of your shield, has taken a bad brunt of this like kind of melting warping. So you just feel it doesn't feel quite as sturdy. And likewise, the scimitar of the double blade, one blade is now like partially melted, so it doesn't have the sharp edge that a bladed weapon would. Obviously the other is totally fine, but it's taken both a -1 penalty.
This isn't anything that like mending could help with, right? Because it's like now missing material. That's the problem. Mending can't replace missing material.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like maybe it would be the best answer I could give, but really it's not so much that you're trying to, mending would not be the best solution. It would take so much more time. You're either better off likely buying a new shield or trying to like get a blacksmith to like fix these things with their materials.
Okay, good to know. Keep it in mind. Oh, I should have taken that spell. Oh well, next time. I'm good to head out at a regular pace, but now I think we got to play our game, gang. Figure out which one of these 3 things we do.
Yep.
Is the normal pace the selected agreed upon?
Yeah, I think so, which means that we at least get to roll 2 things instead of 1.
Let me do a quick recap of the options just for audience purposes, but then also what you guys are choosing. So at the beginning of each travel day, you choose the pace at which you're going to travel, and that allows you to basically get a number of opportunities to roll on these skill challenges throughout the day. At a slow pace, you get to roll for each of the 3 on the encounter table, and you can travel stealthily, but you travel at half pace. At a normal pace, you can roll on 2 of the 3 skill challenges, and kind of honestly, you just kind of travel as normal. There's no bonus or penalty. At a fast pace, you can get 1.5 days travel in, but you can't use stealth or passive perceptions, and you only get to roll 1 of the encounters, therefore failing the other 2. So for a normal pace, you get to choose to roll either survival, investigation, or perception. Two of those 3.
Last time we did survival, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
One more thing before we make that roll. Kyle, we had stolen a spear from one of the fish people that had poison on it. Does it still look like that spear is in okay shape?
Make a medicine check for me.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna fucking hit something with it.
Gang. It's not great. That's a 6.
Oh my god.
Make a
Looks like a
con
spear.
save for me.
Concept? Oh no. Okay, you got it. Save. Let me do that one. 11?
Let me check.
Feels like not enough.
I can't help you today. My portents are dog shit.
I did take something that could help me with this if it's very bad.
You take 3 points of poison damage, and you are poisoned.
Oh no.
I'm going feeling very embarrassed that we haven't even started the day. Nervously doing this, feeling it go in the wound. I'll just stare up at Ray, and I'm gonna have Ray / me cast Lesser Restoration. Oh no!
That's a little funny.
Oh no!
Positive and negative comes out of this experience. One, the spear's still poisonous for at least the next day. But you nearly kind of just in your checking, just not being so careful, so particular, did just kind of slice a little and feel that poison slip into your bloodstream before Ray and your druidic magics are able to expunge it.
And how's the staff work? Cure wounds? Let's spend 1 cure wounds.
Sure. 1 charge.
Oh, I have advantage on perception checks?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, Divining Rod.
Wait,
And initiative? Oh my god. Maybe I won't go last in initiative anymore.
Just wanted to spend 1 charge for 1 heal. The spear's still poisoned. It's really potent, so just be careful if you're handling it. You wouldn't want to accidentally touch it and cut yourself.
Well, how would you know that?
I'm just saying, you got to be careful with these things because it's sharp.
Augie.
I cut myself so bad.
Oh my god.
I healed it. It's okay, but
Don't do that.
It hurts a lot. The staff does work though. It does heal. It's not cursed, which I was curious about. It did heal me.
It's a good learning experience.
Thank you. Okay, so how do you guys want to approach this? We could be investigating, perceiving, or surviving. Actually, we can do 2.
2.
Does anyone have any strong feelings in particular and or a skill they really want to use?
Oh yeah, that's a good way to phrase it too. My investigation, terrible. I think we talked about my survive is great, 6, and my perception is great, 6. I think last time we said survival because we wanted to make sure we were heading in the right direction. That was helpful for to go fast speed.
Yeah.
Its perception kind of makes sense after everything we went through yesterday to be like,
agree.
Let's not have something jump us this time in terms of character decisions.
I think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I almost feel survival perception. I know we're sacrificing the possibility of cool shit, but my thought would be like closer to the city or this destination. We could switch to investigation. Like maybe there's signs of things near there.
Yep.
Who is good at investigation? I remember this kind of being one of our lower skills.
I have a +3 because it's intelligence.
Okay. Yeah. 00 snake eyes from Decran. I could do 1 of perception, 1 of survival. Nettie, are you good at perception?
Yeah, I'm 6 just like you.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, one of the bunny
else,
these ones.
We have the bunny twins do it. Survival and perception.
Sure.
So who's doing which, sorry?
I'll do
choose.
perception because my survival is only 4.
Okay, great. Then I'll do survival. 6 + 6.
All right, survival, perception, and bailing on investigation. You got it.
Sorry to bail on any cool things you were going to tell us about, Kyle. Hopefully we avoid these murderous scenarios. Do you want us to roll now?
Yes, please.
Come on, dice.
16.
11.
Okay. Who is who again? Sorry.
I'm Augustus.
I'm perception.
Thank you.
I'm survivor. Survival.
Okay. You guys set off from this cave where you spent the night, and careful to step over the remains of this blasted, scattered, now kind of like slowly hardening black pudding, though you can still see its evidence kind of glittering on the wall from where it was blown apart. Make your way out of the cave and confidently, like looking to the west, at least you feel confident, that it's west, as you begin to move in a direction. And you see that in this direction, the terrain, you do have two options, but the most expedient one, and the one that is chosen by this kind of path of survival and perception choices, leads you up on these rock bridges that span over like large arcing bridges of this obsidian stone, just like massive connections that spiderweb their way across the expanse of this cavernous space, high above the Black Sea below, which is an odd kind of moment to look down, and it looks just like a mirror top, and then every so often a wave will shift and crest by some unseen force or tide. And remind you, and as it refracts kind of the bioluminescent light of this space, that it is not just ground, it is a sea beneath you. And it ranges anywhere from 30, 40 feet to 120 plus feet below, as some of these bridges arc high and connect between these various pillars and columns that expand as far as your eyes can see in this incredible darkness.
Could I pause you to ask a question?
Mm-hmm, of course.
It's actually to Andy. As we're like walking along these bridges and looking at the water. Andy, do you have any idea what this huge water is? Like, is this on a map? I am not very knowledgeable of the world, but this is insane that this exists beneath the world.
You're muted if you're talking.
I can't hear you.
What? Have I heard anything about like stories of people in the underworld or underdark or anything like that? Of like, is it even mapped?
You just called it Kyle last time. I wrote it in like the underworld Black Sea. It's so dope sounding. I wondered if that was like a thing people knew about.
Unfortunately, as we kind of mentioned in the last game of the game before, the shepherds do not travel in the underworld.
No.
The stories of the underworld are more of like your classic scary fairy tales of creatures and abominations from beneath the world that come above to snatch children away and these kinds of things. You just straight up don't have any information to offer here, unfortunately.
It's all new territory, which I'm not really used to. I'm used to kind of at least knowing something about where I am. So this is new. Challenge? We'll see.
Another question. I don't know if I'm observant enough to notice. What are Andy's tattoos like right now? Because you mentioned before they almost like they were glowing from starlight, or like when that would fall upon them. Like, are they fainter now? What's your like general mood as it's day 2 under? For instance, August is not very. You can like tell a little on edge, not seeing the sun in like a full day.
Yeah, she like her. So when it's just dark out, and we would have noticed, like, say if we were in like a tent when we were camping before or whatever, it's only under like starlight that they glow.
Do
or under her like magic light.
Mm.
So if she has light cast on something, then
they're glowing.
They're glowing. Like, just only where it goes. So if it's like in her hand, then it would kind of only be up to like her elbow or whatever. But yeah, no, I think she would be routinely checking them, and it's a little concerning to feeling like you're in a cave for this long.
Cool.
And there's some that weren't where you thought they were the day before.
That's weird. Yeah, maybe it's just we'll just appreciate the sky when we see it next more.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while, but I'm definitely looking forward to being able to look up and see something.
Nettie's got darker fur, so when we were kids, she would like disappear in the woods at night and sneak up on me, and yeah, dark's just always,
And come behind him. So like what I would do is I'd put like a couple acorns in my sock or something, and then I would just hit him on the head. Knock him right out.
It's the worst. I will get you back one day.
You can't.
Decrane, did you have siblings?
Yes, I did.
Do you still have
Is there more? Is there more to that story?
I do still have siblings, but we're not on speaking terms.
Yeah.
They're
families
probably
can
just
be
jealous
tough.
of how cool you are.
It's a bit more complicated than that. But that's a story for another day.
How does your stomach feel today? You feeling tip top? Is that too personal? I'm just, we're all friends here now.
I feel like I can take on monsters right now.
You cut out there. What did you say? You feel right as rain?
10 monsters right now if I need to.
Oh my god! I hope we don't take on 10 monsters. Okay, be quiet, guys. We're on the mission. Let's keep going.
It does come to a couple of points of these odd rock bridges where it gets incredibly skinny and thin, hard to traverse other than single file. And yeah, I would say most of you, if not all of you, are pretty well good at balancing. You have a low center of gravity and comfortable with this. However, if any of you have a fear of heights, this leg of travel is not fun for you, as it is just kind of nerve-wracking with no protection, no barriers, no railings. About midway through your day, maybe just a little earlier, you've been traveling across these rock bridges for a good deal of time, and in the direction you've been traveling, one of the weird elements of this space is, especially for the Harangons, but collectively, Harangons without dark vision, but collectively, even with dark vision, 60 feet and beyond is almost void. You're only seeing little bits and pieces and picking up light sporadically at a distance. And slowly, as you make your way closer, what seemed like shadow suddenly becomes a monolith of rock, and what seemed like a monolith of rock suddenly fades as you get closer, and it's just a trick of the eye and was nothing there. However, in this instance, as you're kind of coming and converging on this rock bridge together, you see the rock bridge before you kind of split into a bit of a Y before it continues forward. And you do see this void in front of darkness with a pinpoint of light. But beyond it is just a sheer wall of rock, like a massive mountain. And it seems to kind of end, the bridge seems to come to an end here. There's no further left or right, just this massive mountain. And there's a shelf of rock at about the 60-ish, a little bit further. I guess you could see a little bit past their 60-foot range. If you have dark vision of 60 feet, you can then see a little bit of beyond that, but not much. And it is just this moment of not realizing you're about to come to a mountain, but you can see there is a bit of a cave and hopefully a tunnel through.
Okay, let's try and navigate this carefully. Maybe we should use some of our climber's kit stuff.
I guess I should have asked earlier, Kyle. We're following a road?
Nope.
No. Okay. Man,
You're following the cardinal direction of west.
Underground west.
God.
Hoping for
possible.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
How are we not dead already? Okay.
Well, we almost did. No, we almost did die.
Close. As you're kind of coming a little closer and stepping forward, you're on a wider space where you could kind of stop and kind of group up a little bit, and not quite so tight, though the paths ahead to lead to this kind of shelf of rock and mountain and then the further cave. The paths there are a little tighter. You'd have to choose to go left or right, kind of single file, maybe 2x2. But at this section that you're stopped at, it's wider. So you could be having these conversations. You could unload packs if you wanted to set about climbing kits and gear and that kind of thing.
Does it feel like maybe we should take out some of these pitons? That's how you say it, right? Pitons? And
Pitons?
hammer it in the rock. Pitons? Pitons? Hammer it in the rock and just try to the left or right to get towards that cave. Do I have that right in my head, Kyle? Which way's the cave?
The cave would be straight ahead, basically. So if you're on a section here and it Ys around and then connects to a shelf of rock.
Ali
shit.
just lost it. Oh my god. Will loved that.
That was a perception fail if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, what a little cutie.
Yeah. Just totally got her.
That's a classic Enid right there. Sneaks
Yeah.
up from the dark. That was great.
There's your TikTok thought.
Yeah.
There's your TikTok.
Straight from I used to scare my brother to
Oh my god, she's scared. I didn't even hear her. All of a sudden I hear this from like
Was she trying to scare you? Or is she
she's trying to
just
scare me, yeah.
Oh my god, it worked. She did a good job.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
oh, that's funny.
Add 20.
That was great.
Good job, Will.
So Kyle, we could go through the cave. There is a cave in the middle, or we could
It's like
avoid it.
left, right, or straight.
So
Okay.
you're on a section here. You can go left or right to get across to like this shelf of rock, this mountain, and a cave. But there is a gap between to go like straight forward. There's a drop off.
Gotcha.
So there are two paths that lead left or right, ultimately connecting back at the same junction that leads into this cave. I was just more saying that there are like thinner paths you'd have to go single file, but you are in a section now where you, if you want to group up and do anything, you have space. You could do that.
My acrobatics is 2, my athletics is 1, so like I'm pretty lithe, but I'm not very strong. I'm
bad at
also
both.
good at. You say you're not about this, the rolling?
I'm bad at both those things.
Okay, great.
So basically, what if we? Oh, I guess I can do some character. I mean, if we're not sure where to go, how good is Tootsweet at climbing versus just checking out a cave? Does Tootsweet have dark vision? Did we talk about this
Yeah.
last time?
If he can fly, he can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, he can go and report back. This I don't remember what it's called.
Flying squirrel?
Divining rod. Can do a couple things. I'm not sure if this is the right time, but there's a spell called augury. You can kind of ask it if what you're trying to do is like good or bad, and it can kind of try to give you an answer. But I'm not sure if this is what we want to use it on. It's an option, but I mean the squirrel's free. I can only do that
Can I,
once.
before we continue, real quick, get a perception check from all of you.
Sure.
I get advantage. Thank you.
Ooh,
There we go.
21
Now
for
we're-
me.
22
Yeah.
for me.
15.
20.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Team's coming out.
As you guys are having this conversation and debate, you all hear this like tumbling of rock from ahead. Like a small section of the wall up onto the left just kind of like broke away and just kind of broke and tumbled down. It kind of catches your ear and eye, obviously, so close and kind of out of nowhere. And there's a tense moment. Everything seems fine.
That was strange. Maybe let's not go that left way if that wall's about to collapse or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we should send TS to check out that cave.
I think it'd be good just in case something decides to follow us.
Do it, Nettie.
On it.
Activate it.
Too sweet.
With a magical swirl, he appears. Sorry, did you want to send him like just to fly straight down into the void, into the cave, or are you looking to like investigate the entry? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, I'll do. Let's probably get him as far as we can, and see. And then
Yeah.
if there's something that's like super sus, then just he will know to
Get
come
out
back.
there.
Sure. You kind of toss him free, and he begins to glide over this expanse between and like not terribly high off the ground, just kind of doing this like kind of skipping flight, like trying to almost like glide, and then swoops back up as he kind of hits the low point of his glide. As he crests over the expanse, gets to the kind of shelf of rock ahead, and is just about to go he actually is beyond Enid and Augustus's vision, because you don't have the dark vision. However, he's just about to crest into the 60-foot, like beyond DeCrane and Andy, your vision, when you all hear a eruption of rock, and in the darkness, Enid and Augustus, you don't hear or you don't see anything, but you hear this smashing, breaking of rock and this kind of odd roar, and then a...
Uh-oh, Toot Sweet.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Toot Sweet takes 20 points of damage.
Is that like all his? Hold on, let's see. Where is he?
Actually,
That's
it's
He's
Pretty
probably
sure
going.
an additional 12.
No, he's gone.
I would be like
32.
almost full dead.
In the darkness, you just hear this, and you hear a screech of Toot Sweet. Andy and DeCrane, both of you are able to see the ground almost like burrowed, built up, and then burst as a massive, hulking, gray-brown, like almost like a monstrous beetle burst out of the ground and snatched in mandibles of spiked mandibles, crushed over Toot Sweet, and then with two claws of these like monstrous like carapaced forearms, these massive like cartoonish massive forearms, but with clawed fingers, just tear into him before he poofs away, and this creature whirls and looks in your direction and utters just like this odd chitinous kind of roar. It's all roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is this
That
game?
was so fast.
You failed survival. What can I say?
Wow, well, there you go. That would do it.
I have advantage on initiative and I still rolled so bad.
Let's see. Yeah, I rolled pretty bad too. Everyone's goal, don't fall into the water. Whatever happens here, don't fall into the water.
Don't fall, period.
We also heard... We heard
I don't
some
have
rocks.
featherfall, guys.
Oh god. We heard some rocks to our left, so keep that in mind. There might be a scary beetle over on that side too.
As this creature, as we kick into initiative,
Sick angle. This looks...
roars and begins to like make its lumbering approach towards you, and you all begin to like figure out what you're going to do. 25 to 20.
25.
Oof.
Yes. Netty.
So Enid.
20 to 15.
Come on, DeCrane.
Oh,
15
no.
to 10.
I
12.
rolled 11.
Okay. And Andy pulling up the rear.
6 with advantage.
Jesus.
Nice roll. That's great.
Rolled a 2 and a 5.
Enid, you are obviously up first. In terms of distance here, Enid and Augustus, with the all-pervasive darkness here, I should ask, like, Andy, do you have light cast at this point, or are you guys relying kind of on Ray's like little bit of ball of light?
We said before, and if you're comfortable with it, I think we'd do the same thing. I had a cast on my staff, and then we had like a dampening cloth on it.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fine. I just wanted to make
So
sure.
it's not gonna reach as far as light normally would. So light normally reaches.
Like 30
It
foot.
provides 20 feet,
upright.
and dim light and extended 20 feet.
So it'd be
so-
20 and 20. So I would
Yeah.
cut that in half to at least 10-10.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, with no dark vision from Andy is 5, 10, 15, 20. You guys can't see past this point.
No problem.
So
Easy
all of
peasy.
this is inky black. However, for DeCrane and Andy, you guys can see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. You can just see
Great.
to the edge of the creature from this point. And then it's just inky void behind. And so even that, though, at that range, it's difficult to get like specifics about this creature. You're getting a very kind of broad strokes that it is. It is large, certainly. It's hunched over, so you imagine if it stood up on its hind legs fully, it would be 10 feet tall, give or take. And it is clear, like insectoid is the initial guttural response. However, Enid, it's still in the darkness far ahead of you, and there's not a light source closer. So, what do you do for now?
Okay. Am I able to use Hex on it?
If it says you need to see the creature, then you cannot, because currently you cannot technically see the creature.
Oh, you can see within range. Okay. In that case, I guess I'll just shoot my bow.
You
Or
can
hold it at least.
You can hold it until like I go last, but I mean like when I get there, I can take off the.
Yeah.
I try to get a little bit more light.
I'll do that then. I'll hold my longbow.
Yeah, you just draw ready to fire. With your perception, you and Augustus, like your very highly trained ears, heard the creature. You heard the eruption of rock and the sundering of Toot Sweet. So you have the direction, but to fire wildly would be a disadvantage, obviously, because you just can't see a precise target. So if you hold, hopefully you'll be able to see him at some point, this creature at some point, and utilize your 2 attacks, or your attack, or not 2 attacks yet.
Okay.
Okay, Enid holds. And that brings us to our creature's turn.
Boo.
Creature,
Bring it on.
kind of right perfectly in the middle of both paths.
You said you could fight 10 of these, right? Earlier today, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
Because the stomach's feeling good.
Still holds.
Microbiome's good. Let's do it.
He gets to there,
Oh, what is he gonna do? Don't have a
and
weird breath weapon. Don't have a weird breath weapon.
it's just going to take its action to leap.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. Al, you can shoot him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Yep.
You can now shoot it. As it leaps into the air, you do begin to get eyes on it, and you can indeed fire.
Awesome.
That thing moved so fast.
Ooh, 21 to hit.
Oh, it definitely hits. Definitely.
Cool. And then 10 piercing damage.
Ooh. Not
Can you
too
use your psychic thing on ranged? Your other little
Yeah.
your adding thing? I forget what the dice was or that
You
or how
can
that
do
works
this
out.
favored foe, and you can do your additional D4 of psychic damage on any of your attacks.
Ooh. Okay. I will do a single favored foe. That's a 3 on top of
You
that.
got it. Awesome.
Sick.
Holding, waiting, just the tension rising in your bowstring as it finally, you hear it lumbering towards until finally it crests in, like as it's leaping in the air. You all now see this creature in full. As I described, this kind of yellow and brown carapace of like a beetle and insect, large hooked mandibles from a head that bears 4 kind of bulbous eyes and antenna. However, in immediate close proximity, the eyes are shifting and almost like have a rainbow slick, an oil slick element to them that is a little mesmerizing, as well as just generally
Nice.
terribly frightening in its ferocity and size. That had to be its full action to get close, so that is the end of its turn. Decrane, we come to you. At the top of your turn, I need you to make a charisma save for me.
10.
+1.
Uh,
So
that is-
11.
That's a fail, unfortunately. I will need you to roll a d8 for me.
Dang. Okay.
this could be bad news bears.
Right, okay.
A 6.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh boy. Okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
Throw me a d4
All right.
and don't get a 4.
It just means I get 4 times the superpowers, right?
Okay. Decrane, as this massive creature leaps forward, you're already drawing, the star wheel. You're already thinking about your weapons. You're pulling, getting ready for a fight. But the second it lands and raises its head, and you look in its direction, something in its eyes, in this aura, overtakes you, and your mind swirls, and your whole perception just falls away, and everything becomes hypnotic and strange. And against your will, against your better judgment, you feel your body turn, and your legs just begin to kick out from under you as you begin to march this way.
That's good, at least.
Slam into Andy. Andy, I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
That's not.
Yeah, okay.
You're very tall. Come on.
I'm very tall and sturdy, surprisingly. Oh, it's a +0, so 19.
Nice.
Decrane is marching at full speed in this direction, and he walks straight into you. Now he's only 5 or 10 feet away from you, roughly. And if you weren't there and sturdy enough to hold your ground, he would have kept going right over the edge of this bridge. And you feel, and then Decrane, you're almost walking in place until, unfortunately, your turn comes to an end.
Ugh.
But you don't fall off the edge of this bridge.
Small
That's good news.
consolation.
Everyone make your
Goodness.
charisma saves, please.
That is going to end Decrane's turn, and Augustus, we come to your turn.
Okay. Do I have to make a cha save?
Did you look at the creature when it landed?
I would
I
assume
think-
so.
I think
It's-
everyone
yeah.
does for this first round, because
Yeah.
it would have been pretty impressive. So
Scary
a charisma
bug
save
thing.
at the start of your turn.
Got it. 8.
That's a
I'm sure
fail.
that's a save.
Roll a d8 for me, please.
You got it. 1.
Again, as I described, this creature, as it lifts its head, you watch the arrow from Enid strike into it, and it does seem to find out a fleshy part of its body, but you can't look away from its eyes, and your shield and staff almost fall from your hands as you just stare, mesmerized, unable to move or do anything. And for the full 6 seconds, you just stand and watch, mouth agape. And unfortunately, you do nothing with your turn.
All good.
Cool.
Andy,
Yep.
top of your turn, charisma save.
Okay.
Boy.
15?
15
Could be it.
just succeeds.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Okay.
You see the aura of confusion and mesmer within its face, its aura, that it begins to kind of envelop you. You can feel it like a shockwave coming over you. However, with a developing kind of third eye sense, you're able to kind of push through it and see the truth of the reality that you're within, and not be tricked. Especially holding Decrane back, watching Augustus just mouth agape drop. You steel yourself and are able to take your turn in full.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to add one last thing. To those of you who fail, you lose your reactions until your next turn as well.
Oh, that's not great. I don't know if I have a lot of great ones, but
I don't think that's a huge deal currently. If this were a higher level, that might
it would
matter.
be a
But
big deal.
Who has the poisony stick?
would be Augustus, I assume.
I honestly, I thought you would carry it because you wanted to use it with your spell. I would just wanted to check
Catapult.
it. I didn't really want to carry it. You were the one
Oh,
who was like, I could use this.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to try catapult with it.
Okay. Yeah, obviously, you've got your staff in one hand, and are you holding the divining rod in the other? So you've got this on your back.
Yeah, if you I'd be fine.
You can hot swap out for this purpose.
Essentially, I don't need to be holding it. I could just drop it and then cast catapult on it or
Yeah.
something.
That's
I'm not
fine.
actually throwing it.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so it's a saving throw.
Dexterity,
Yes.
11.
Nope. So, let me roll catapult damage, which is
And take it from me, that
3d8. And then am I rolling anything extra, or is it immune to poison?
Nope. Go ahead and roll an additional d6 of poison damage on top of that,
Okay.
and I will make a con save for against the poison.
You suck, Beetle.
That it does succeed at with a 19.
Okay. It's only a d6. It would be poisoned, right? Remind me what the poison condition does. It's like you have disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah. I guess you haven't checked what the effect of this poison is.
Okay.
But so I was going to tell you more, but I'm not.
That's
because
fine.
you didn't.
Nope.
But it would be typically poisoned condition would be disadvantage on attacks. I don't believe on saves, but attacks for sure. I'll pull it up.
Okay, I have 2 trash portents. Let's use one of them.
Yes, I love it. Do it.
Sure.
I'll use the 5.
Yep. Wait 1 second. It would have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
That could be really handy.
And I'll roll the damage.
Yes, please.
Wizard coming in clutch. Sorry, Claire.
Oh my god, that's so many ones.
Never mind.
I rolled max on 1d8 and
Great.
3 on the other 3 dice. Or like 3 total. 1 on each. So
It's all right,
8,
though.
9, 10, 11 total. That's bad for how many dice I just rolled.
Getting
That is
him
pretty
poisoned
bad.
is huge, though. That's huge.
Yes. It is officially poisoned, even with its bonus of +3. Does not do enough to negate the DC 11 or 12 poison.
Okay. And then I'll just make sure that the cloth is off my light so that everyone can actually see.
Yep, free action, no problem. So with that light, 20 foot and 20 foot, 5. Yeah, so basically light now all the way to the edge here, easily.
Okay. I don't
So
know
was
if
your-
I want to move. I'm scared because then if I get bedazzled by it, there's only so many places you can go where it's not like run and you just immediately die. I'm worried about not being... No, I guess I'll stay here.
I don't know if there's a good option. I don't know if there's a good option.
You're staying?
Yeah.
Great. Enid, at the start of your turn, I would like a charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
Come on, Enid.
Come on, Enid.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. 9.
No, we're not.
Roll
that
a
charismatic.
d8 for me, please.
Okay, fine.
I also, Andy, can you please roll me a d4 as well, please?
3.
The unfortunately, the spear where it strikes, it careens off and falls down straight off the edge.
Oh, that was a one-time use thing. I'm okay with that.
I was if it could have bounced off or embedded and stayed on the platform, I would have allowed it, but unfortunately it does fall off the edge, plummets into the Black Sea below.
Okay.
4.
A 4, Enid. As soon as you have shot and drawn your bow, you watch the thing land in front of you. You're reaching up to grab from your quiver another arrow and knock it. And midway through that grab and pull, the creature's face looks up directly into yours, and you see these 4 mesmerizing eyes. And it's just the trippiest shit you've ever fucking seen. And just kind of lost in it for a moment, and there's just this kind of like swaying, like mesmerizing, hypnotic moment. And unfortunately, you just get lost in that, just kind of giggling, laughing, and just, ooh, pretty lights. Unfortunately, that does cost your turn and takes us to its turn.
Man, this guy's gonna kick the shit out of us. Let's keep happening.
With which it is going to attempt to pick you up
Oh no.
With its mandibles.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
Nope.
Does a 19 hit?
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
And a 13.
Nope.
It uses its mandibles to try and kind of snatch out. And even though you don't have your reaction or, the full wherewithal, you're just kind of vibing and shifting with the lights and the movement of the eyes. And as it moves in towards you, you kind of sway out of the way and it snatches its jaws over top of you. It goes to scoop you up with its one arm, and you just kind of like slump and flip back over it, just like very, very slippery until finally.
Are those with disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay.
And one does grab you, scoop you up in a grapple, and begin to pull back with you in its claw.
I'll just say to him, because obviously she's hypnotized, be like, "Whoa, buddy. Let's just take this slow. Let's not rush this. We have a good thing going, you and me."
He says nothing in response. You hope your message has gotten through. That is going to be, his full attack, and end of his turn. Comes back to DeCrane. DeCrane, you are currently not looking in its direction. You're looking at Andy. You're actually looking away into the right here, what would be west on our map currently. So you don't have to start your turn with a charisma save. You snap out of it, looking directly at Andy, kind of bumping into her, and you see she's finishing doing her thing, and then you have your turn. What do you do?
Okay, could I get behind it?
You could, if you had a lot more movement.
Oh, okay.
It's now pulled way over here. Getting behind it this way is going to be difficult, especially not to look at. That's you're kind of gauging that its eyes were these kind of hypnotic elements, which would be kind of directing back towards you all this way. If you went this way, you could get 30, would put you about there. You could dash to get up and around, but it's going to cost your action.
Okay, so the other thing then is I'm thinking I can't look at it directly in its eyes. Right.
That is correct.
So if I could use the two next to me as cover to get a shot at it.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. You're trying to avoid looking at it directly. You can give it a shot.
But I'm not going. I'm going to start with my longbow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, do you want to try and position yourself on the other side of both of them there?
Sure.
Step across and trying to look through Andy and Augustus. Go ahead and make your attack.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rolled a 9.
Okay.
And my longbow is +7, 16.
A 16. You draw back and fire, careful to not hit either of your friends here as you're kind of using them to avert your eyes and cover your eyes. You fire, and the arrow just splinters and shatters across its shoulder armor. You're not sure if it's your aim or its protection as to what made the difference there, but unfortunately the arrow does not find purchase.
I don't think I have any bonus, so...
That would be 30 feet. That'd only 5 feet of movement. So you still have 25 feet of movement if you want to use it, and a bonus if you have any. But if you don't have any, then we can move forward.
I think I'm in a good position here.
Okay. Augustus, we come to you. You shake free of the mesmerizing effect. Begin your turn.
I'm going to cast Summon Wildfire Spirit, so I can cast that within 30 feet. I'm going to cast it out over the rock, seeing this beast drag Nettie away. I'm going to cast it in the middle of that vacuous space.
Yep. There?
Perf. And now she can fly 30. When she appears, if anyone was in 10 feet, she'd take fire. I don't want that to happen because I want Nettie to get hurt. but then I'll have her fly in 30 feet to try and get towards Nettie and do our fiery teleport to get her out of this.
Oh, I see. Okay. Grabs her, and where do they go?
They can only move 15 feet, so I'm thinking 15 feet back towards us. And yeah, Ray'll just be swirling around Nettie, knowing that she's important to August. That means she's important to her.
You got it. You watch as the creature is incredibly confused as to what just happened. It almost like tumbles over as its like claws begin to snatch at air.
And then it has to make a deck. I always forget this. A deck save, or it's going to take some fire damage here.
Actually, sorry. At the beginning of when you summon Ray, I need Ray to make a charisma save for me before we do this. She still counts as a creature.
She has I don't know if this will change anything. She has conditioned immunities to charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, and restrained. But I can still make a save.
None of them are. It's not technically a charm or any of those effects. It's like it's a creature effect. The magic
D20. Let's do it. No, it's only a 7.
7 total.
Yeah. She adds nothing to charisma.
Dice have not been on your side today.
No, dice don't like me.
Uh,
a D8?
Yes, please.
4.
Unfortunately, you have what you intend. You inform Ray what to do, and you just see her continuously kind of hover in this space.
Bobbing close.
Unmoving. You're trying to just like force her forward, but no movement.
So that's action, bonus action. I would have some movement.
Yeah, full 30.
I think he would just run after them because it's his sister. So I'll run around that left side, maybe not the full distance to get within range, but probably onto that next block. Just yelling, Nettie! Yeah.
Actually, as soon as you get to there, I need you to make a Christmas saving throw.
Oh, jeez. Man. Hey, guys, don't look in its eyes. Oh, wait. Christmas save. 13?
Unfortunately, it's a fail for me, a D8.
You got it. Oh, I screwed up, but it's a 5? I don't think we've had 5 yet.
We had something similar. Roll me a D4.
Oh boy. 3.
Okay. So I was using kind of the path that you were traveling on as 1, 2, 3. So you step forward and immediately 1, 2, 3 back to here.
That was a weird turn, folks. Weird turn.
Oh no.
Oh my god, what are we gonna do?
Save my sister. Don't look in its eyes. Learn from me.
I'm already running low on spell slots.
Wizard, you're supposed to be the smart one. Maybe you should call that out.
Okay, sorry. That's Augustus. Andy, we do come to you. What do you
Never so much have I wanted grease before. How far away am I from it?
You're currently about 40 feet.
Oh, that's a creature that you can see? Yep. Shit. So anything that has, like, creature you can see means I have to look at it, which means I could, in theory, get fucked. Okay. Oh, I don't think I have anything that's not a creature you can see, so that's fun.
You can't see it? Does Ray cast enough light?
No. If I look at it, like, I have to look at it to cast the spell, because it's a creature that you can see.
But you're actually not looking at it.
The only thing I don't have that would be that is, like, color spray, but I'm
you need to
not
get within
close
15
enough.
feet.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Sorry, I had a plan, and it all just went to shit, because I thought maybe that Nettie would be out of there by now, and she's not. Okay, I'm just going to try Mind Sliver. Let's see what happens from here, because it's 60-foot range.
60-foot range. You turn to look at it and try and Mind Sliver it.
Yeah, I'm going to see if it's a distance thing.
Seems fine. You get the cast off.
Okay.
Intelligence save.
Okay. Yes.
That's a 2.
Okay, great. So it takes 6 points max damage.
Great.
Of psychic damage. And I'm going to call out, just stay out of 30 feet away from it, and maybe it's not as bad, but shit.
Are you going to stay there?
Well, I don't want to get closer to it, but I'm afraid about Nettie. I might go north of Decrane.
Mm-hmm.
North.
Just like there?
Just like there, yeah. Just in case it retreats a lot, it can move a lot faster than we can.
Not really. It's just big.
Oh, okay.
It's just, it looks like it's taking up a 10 by 10. It's a large creature.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So it just looks like it's moving more. And the first move it did was dash to get close.
Yeah.
No bonuses?
I only have one bonus action. I'm not gonna use it yet. I think that's it.
Okay. And we come to you with all this warning. You are in its jaws. You would have to completely close your eyes to not look at it.
Okay.
Do you elect to close your eyes before you start your turn, or do you risk it?
Yeah, if I can, I'll try. I'll just kind of.
Yeah. You can just slam shut your eyes, and as soon as you do, you feel that sensation of mesmerization fade.
Sweet. Am I able to Misty step out of there?
Does it say a point that you can see?
Ooh,
Because technically, by closing your eyes, you take on like the blinded condition.
Yeah. Unoccupied space you can see. Never mind.
So, here's something we could go through. Using your action, you could try and break free of the grapple.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, once you turn your back to it, you could misty step away. You could see away
True.
from it.
Okay.
But with your eyes closed, you could
Yep.
try and slip free. Once you're free and know that it's behind you, you could open your eyes and misty step.
You
Okay.
can also you can still hit it even though. Wait, is she considered restrained or?
She's considered grappled, so not restrained. But if she
Okay.
closes her eyes, she's at a disadvantage because she'd be considered blinded.
Yeah, she'd be at disadvantage. But in theory, otherwise, you could try to I don't know if you have any melee weapons.
Yeah,
That's
you
an
could try and
option as
attack
well.
it at disadvantage
Yeah.
because your eyes are closed.
I say get the fuck out of there, though. This is getting scary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to break free, go ahead and make an acrobatics or athletics check, and it is going to make an athletics check at disadvantage because it's poisoned. Let's try
That's
to
good. That's good.
Okay, I did an athletics and I got 22.
Damn. Okay, well the first
Nice.
one is a solid 20,
Oh, thank God it has disadvantage.
and at disadvantage it comes down to a 19, and you succeed. You slip free, land on the rock, like just directly in front of it, facing away, so you can see anything in this direction.
Okay.
You cast Misty Step?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
I'll go back.
Oof.
You arrive facing away, keeping your back to the creature for the time being. And that ends your turn. Actually, no, I guess you still have 30 feet of movement if you want to move.
Great.
Yeah. Oh.
Just keep further back to, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
No, back it up.
Back to beside Augustus. Frustrated, that takes us to our creature.
Big guy.
Unfortunately, you guys have all moved out of its grasp. Actually, you know what's more fun? Let's do it like this. You watch Frustrated as it turns in your direction, lets loose and digs down into the rock.
Fuck this.
No, don't
Fuck
like
this
that.
guy.
It leaves a 10-foot, like a massive cavity in the rock here. As it begins to dig down into the tunnel of rock you're standing on. Using its action, it is going to dash forward, doing that, and you watch the rock kicking and spitting out, and just like buckling and breaking and crumbling of this rock in your direction. Graham, we come to you.
Oh my God.
We gotta move. It's gonna destroy this whole thing.
I mean, oh gosh, I don't know now.
I know. Not sure.
We gotta get on slightly more steady land. Like at least that area over there looks less. You could fall by going left or right.
I'll guide everyone. Like we gotta move.
I like this.
In this way?
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets you to there.
And maybe I'll have my bow ready in case it pops out.
That was trippy for a sec, this camera move. It's like, ah!
You're going to ready your longbow?
Yeah, like, the moment I see it, bam.
You got it. Longbow ready. Augustus.
Man, I was just trying to see if I could do anything cooler. Okay, there's that. I think for sure I'm going to run towards where Decrane is going, 30 feet. She's
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I will spend my full action to run all the way across.
You got it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
That's a good idea.
As a bonus, I'm just going to tell Ray to get towards Decrane. And I guess she can't hold an action.
No.
Then I'm just going to fiery teleport him even closer to me.
You do? Okay.
I can't get you, Andy, because you're not within 5 feet of her. So, yeah.
You got it. So that costs your bonus action to do, right?
Yes.
So that is full action, bonus action move.
Yep.
Andy. Enid on deck.
I'm gonna move as well.
Mhm.
Trying to figure out if
30 puts you there.
I don't like that I'm leaving Enid so far away.
She'll go before Beast, right? In the order of how
She
this
goes next. She
Okay.
goes next.
Then he goes next.
Okay, I'm gonna hold. I'm just gonna hold another Mind Sliver
Okay.
That's a good idea.
and hope that I'm far away from it enough that I won't have to roll a charisma save.
Mm-hmm. Andy holds. Enid, we come to you.
Okay. Yeah, can I
Just start running.
start running? Yep.
Fucking run.
Yep. Get near them.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets you to there. That's your movement. Do you want to use bonus or action to dash? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. 30 could put you right just on the other side, kind of right over the
Phew.
gap here. You still have bonus should you wish to use it.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. As you all begin to sprint onto more stable terrain,
Rolling around, truly.
There's a
you
button.
hear the rumble of rock as this creature breaks free of the rock and you watch just a spew of rock erupt as it's ready to claw and grab, but you've all already begun to run. Andy, you are clear of its gaze, so you can get your Mind Sliver off. That is a 3.
No. Was someone else holding something? Was Crane holding a bow shot or no?
Yep.
Crane, you can also take shot.
Oh, another max damage.
Perfect.
6 more points of damage.
Chip away, guys.
Got it.
I rolled a very, very nice one.
Oh.
Natty one.
The direction you were waiting for it to come is now different after the teleport, and you fire where you were looking before, and it just completely, in the direction you were holding, it just completely misses off into the darkness, as you just didn't have the time to pivot before, as it erupted out, and unfortunately careens off into the darkness.
Augustus teleported you looking the wrong way.
Yeah,
Yeah, you face forward, mate.
it's a good thing he didn't have him facing him, and
Yeah, that's true. Live and learn.
But it is the creature's turn. Use some of its movement to finish its tunnel.
Oh man, this thing's relentless.
Still get to there.
Go away.
Yeah, it's just going to have to, unfortunately, use its action to dash
Don't look at it.
right up on top of you guys.
Don't look at it.
And that ends its turn, just forcing a dash. That takes us to Decrane.
I'm going to, first of all, I can, without looking at its eyes, I can still look for, like, I can still see, like, weaknesses in its armor, right? Like, I can notice spots that might look vulnerable.
You can Unfortunately, as soon as you look at it, it's like an aura. It's all around it if you look in its direction. So you have to blind fire at it, either looking, like closing your eyes, looking away, and firing and hoping for the best, or risk the confusing gaze, risk the mesmerizing effect, trying to overcome it, and then fire. So you can, or you can try and reposition. Where you've collectively all kind of learned it does have a range.
It's around 30 feet, I think, from what we've seen and when I tested it.
I'm pulling out the star wheel.
Okay. Are you standing here and shooting, or are you going to try and withdraw a little bit and then fire?
Yeah, maybe I'll withdraw a bit before. Yeah.
From that position there, as you pull back and run, draw the star wheel, turn, pivot, stance, hold, and fire, you do not feel the effect of its gaze.
Yeah,
and
baby.
can fire freely.
Perfect, because I rolled a 14.
Nice.
Okay. What's your bonus?
It is plus 7. 21.
Oh, yeah, that definitely is. Go ahead and roll.
And can I use my action surge? Or do I have to say that earlier?
Nope, you can do it whenever you want, but let's finish rolling the damage of your attack first.
Yes, let me do that first.
And also, you can throw on any of your grit
Yes.
effects if you wish.
I would like to do that. That goes under featured and traits, right?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm going to do winging shot. The creature takes damage and must have a strength saving throw of 13 or be knocked prone.
Great.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll damage. I will roll a strength save for it.
Okay, so 1d10 plus 3.
Strength save was it's pretty strong. It does get a 14.
Damn.
It's okay.
I rolled a
Great.
7 plus 3, 10.
Nice.
10 points. You watch as you turn and fire, and now keeping an eye looking to hit that shot, you hit its kneecap, like dead on, and you watch the armor carapace just shatter around its knee. You see fleshy, like white fleshy flesh beneath exposed, and you watch it. It does take a significant blow and kind of rear back, drops to that knee for a second, but it does pick itself back up.
And I think I have now one bullet loaded, right?
Well, you have you'd be at full for your day, like you would have reloaded.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you have 3 shots still in the revolver. If you want to action surge, you're free to do so and fire again.
Yep, I'll do that.
Burn your action surge, fan the hammer, and slam down another shot.
18.
Definitely
Nice.
hits. Natural 18.
Awesome.
And I can't use one of those. No, I'm not going to use one anyway. Don't want to waste
You
it.
could, if you
Good.
wish, you can use them anytime you want. You just have 3 per short rest. So you're, just keep that in mind for how many you want to burn.
I'll save it just in case.
Okay.
Okay, it was 1d10, I believe. Yes.
Plus your dexterity.
Your blade plus 3.
5.
8 points. You got it. This shot, it's where its arm came down to kind of lift itself back up. You hit in the massive kind of chunky forearm, and you shatter some of that armor as well of its left forearm, exposing some more of that white flesh beneath. It's looking hurt from where it started at for sure, but not out yet. That is your full. Actually, no, that was 5, 10, 15. That was 20 feet of movement. You still have 10 if you want to reposition, and a bonus action still if you want to use it.
Won't reposition, and I'll just check. I'm good. Yeah.
You got it. That takes us to Augustus. The top of your turn. Do you look in its direction as you hear it thundering in behind you, bursting through the rock, and then just and you hear it roaring in response to these shots from Decrane. Obviously, you have your choice as to avert your gaze. But what do you do?
I think he would have seen it come up, or at least heard it, and then when it started charging, he would have averted his gaze just in hearing people yell about that and having it affect him. I'm there. I'm going to try and seeing how effective that was for Decrane, I'm going to try and do the same. So I'm going to try and run away.
You got it. Like in the same spot as him, basically?
Yeah, I might even just run forward. Yeah, so whatever. That's perfect. That's great.
Get up on the cool ledge.
I want to be more of a target for it.
Is that where you want to start your turn?
Yeah, that sounds good. Was that my full 30?
That was not your full 30. 5, 10, 15, 20. That was 25. So you have 5 more.
Can I take a diagonal and be in front of Decrane? Yeah, perfect.
5, 10. Okay, so that just puts you outside of its range.
Oof. Okay, I will spin and you tell me if you want me to, if this is a gamey question. How does this thing look after he's pumped 2 shots into it?
You're seeing some...
You didn't look at it.
That's true. I can't. Well, I guess now I am. Yeah.
Now
you
you're
can.
not turning to look.
That was funny though.
You do see some significant wear on it. It's got broken elements of its hardened carapace, but it is not running away. It's not bleeding profusely. It's still hungry. So it's
Okay,
not down yet.
Yeah, I'm scared, so I'm going to use my last 2nd level and cast Scorching Ray on it.
You got it. Go ahead.
And maybe
3 rays?
Yeah, 3 rays. Let's just do it. Oh, that was good. That's 24.
Definitely.
That's only 12.
That's gonna miss.
And then this one's only 13.
Also gonna miss, unfortunately.
That's okay. The first roll. Ooh, it's max damage, so 12.
Nice. Yeah, that first one, you target one of those fleshy points, its arm or its forearm or its knee, and you watch it sizzle and burn at the exposed flesh. The others just kind of careening off of the shiny carapace. But that one, significant. And it just kind of roars and shakes the point.
Bonus action, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to command Ray to try and get Nettie and Andy out of there. So she'll have to try and make a save here and get lucky.
So, at the start of her turn, as soon as she turns, go ahead and make a charisma save.
You got it. It's only 10, just flat 10.
Unfortunately, she does not move forward. Go ahead and roll a d8.
True. Okay. I don't know why that's not working. 4.
She just continues to kind of spin and hold her position and not doing it as you intend.
No problem. That was a Hail Mary, so that's all good. A Hail Andy play.
That does come to Andy's turn.
Okay, I'm not gonna look at it because I'm scared too, and the only thing I have that you can do without looking at something is color spray.
Cool.
I don't know if it has blind sense. It kind of feels like it might, but let's try it. Although it already has disadvantage from whatever. Maybe it won't see us, and maybe that'll change things.
It does get to save on that at the end of its turn, so hang on.
Oh, okay.
That's cocked. Nope, still poisoned.
Oof.
How many turns has it had?
3?
Did you roll 3 times?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I don't know if color spray is going to do anything, but we're going to try.
Does it do damage?
No.
Oh, shit.
It's sublime.
Oh, that'd be good. Maybe that works, yeah.
So I have to roll. The thing is, I have to roll, and I have to roll more than its hit points. It's kind of like sleep. I have to roll 6 d10s.
Oh, so you got 5.
You got the 60 damage right here. Just spray paint its eyes like that nice color of your coat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This is like a nice sound of
It is.
dice break to roll. I actually rolled pretty well. That's 8 plus 8, 16 plus 2 7s. So 16 plus 14 is
30.
30.
40.
Plus 4 plus 6. So
40.
40.
You turn away and just holding your staff behind you, you all watch this rainbow spray just of like colored smoke and powder.
Like I imagine like Aurora Borealis,
Mhm.
like just
It completely like encompasses the creature's upper torso. You're not sure if there's any effect.
Yeah, it's not my turn yet. If I move, it's gonna get an attack of opportunity.
Unless you blinded it?
It still
It would
will,
be a disadvantage,
At disadvantage? True.
which is still would have for poison.
which is still what I have with poison. Oh, I don't want it to grab me.
Jump in the water.
Do we know what range it is? Or what its range is?
Not really, actually. It's not actually made too many attacks.
Okay. How about, okay, so do I have the idea that if I can't see its eyes anymore that it's going to be a problem? Or is it like literally just like its whole body? Like if I got by its butt.
I think that would require a proper nature or arcana check to really see if you remember anything about this creature, see what you've learned and can surmise from your experience here.
Okay. Then, okay, I'm going to risk the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I think it's smart.
Where do you want to go?
Just kind of to the north. Like, I was more thinking on the other side of Enid. I don't want us to all be clumped.
It does make a strike at you as you go to run.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks.
Even at disadvantage, that's a 21.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's a decent rolls. It just throws out a claw at you for 8 points of damage.
Okay.
That's just its reaction. It's your movement, your action. You still have a bonus.
Yeah, but I don't really have bonuses. I'm good.
Then we come to Enid's turn. Enid, the top of your turn, you've been running away. This creature, you hear bounding back behind you, hearing it roar in response to attacks, and heavily is kind of lumbering and breathing right on your back. What are you doing?
All right, so obviously we're trying to like just get out of here. Can I try snare?
I think that has a 10-minute cast.
Does it?
Shit. It was a really cool
Casting time
idea.
1 minute. It says 1 minute.
Yeah, but it's
That's
like you get 6
10
seconds.
rounds? 10 rounds?
Oh, is
And
it?
Fuck, that would have been a great idea.
That was
Neat.
cool.
an action for that.
Yeah.
However,
Okay.
if you have
Ensnaring
Entangle or Ensnaring Strike, those could accomplish similar feats. It
I
would just
don't have
require.
it equipped.
Well, now you know for the future.
Yeah, I never know the future.
To know.
So, with that in mind, what do you do at the start of your turn here? Hoping to try and treat this thing up
It already burned its reaction, smoking me. So if you need to run or trying to hit me,
and run away freely.
Yeah. Is that what you guys are just bolting?
well, we're just moving so that like we can get 30 feet away from it, so that you can shoot it without having to make a charisma save. I think is everyone's plan. And I'm getting more sturdy ground. We're on not sturdy ground at all right now.
I'll hex it at least. In the middle.
You will have to look at it to do so.
Unless you
What's
try
the
to
range on hex?
Hex is 90 feet.
Yeah,
So you could run first and then hex it.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Run that far as I can.
Run just
90 feet.
in under a little bit of the cave lip.
Screw you.
Gets you outside of its range, and you can cast Hex on it. It is now hexed.
Hexed.
That's your bonus action, your full movement.
Okay.
You still have your attack.
So I will use my bow. That's 3. It also says 3 necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm. That's if you hit.
Yeah. 11 to hit.
Unfortunately, arrow just kind of shatters against a hardened part of its body. It does, for its size. You guys can hit it, but it's got a pretty protective armor carapace. So unfortunately, arrow shatters. However, it is hexed for your next round.
Like how many things it's got going on.
It's got a lot going on.
And that does come to its turn.
Let's give it more hats.
Rushing forward towards Andy It is going to make its full round of attacks against you as you're the closest
Oh,
creature
no.
to it. At least it's going to start. We'll see how this goes. Claw attack number 1. That is, really good. 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
First attack is going to slash you for 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second, he's actually going to go for the mandibles. Not as good. 13.
No, just misses.
Mandibles, you manage to kind of dodge out of the way, and it bites into the rock over your head as the last claw here is going to... Oh, terrible. That's a 10. It gets one good strike off on you, but disadvantage is kind of killing it here. With some of its move used, it is going to dig down into the rock directly in front of you. I will say, being right in front of it, you can see its back about 10 feet down into this like sheer tunnel down into the rock. So you still have sight on it, and its eyes are not focused up as of right now. It does have some additional cover because there's rock kind of falling in on it, but it's so it's got like basically half cover, but it is visible and it's not looking up at you. And that's going to end its turn. As we come to the crane.
You know what to do. You got to jump in the tunnel and shoot its butt.
Also, it succeeds on its poison save.
Ah.
No,
Is it blinded? Does it seem blinded?
If it does, it doesn't matter.
You said you want me to go on a suicide run.
you're not going. You just go into
Run
its
to the
butt.
hole and shoot its butt.
Go to the
Actually, I don't
hole,
even know
shoot
if
its
it's
All right.
I don't know if you have enough movement, to be honest.
Do I have enough movement, Kyle?
The crane, I'm pretty sure, has like 35 movement too, don't you?
My movement is 35, right?
That's 25 to get to there, so you can get right up onto the hole and look down in, and you can see the creature. I will say, as I said, it does have half cover, just given some of the rock that's tumbling down on it. So its AC is increased a little bit, and it's already kind of hard to hit. So, but you're free to take shots.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot.
Shoot the butt.
I'm going to shoot the butt. All right. Let me rewrite.
Episode title. If you're watching this episode, I hope it's called Shoot the Butt.
It wasn't going to be.
Shoot the butt.
All right. It's an 11 plus 7, 18.
And 18 is its armor class.
Oh.
So unfortunately misses with the additional rock. You fire down and you shatter some of the rock. Like as rock is falling in behind it, one of the rocks actually catches the bullet mid-flight, where you would have pierced into its rump.
You didn't shoot
the
the
hole.
butt. You didn't shoot the butt.
Okay, I have how much movement did you say left?
You have 10 or 5 feet, at least if you have 30. If you have 35 feet, you've moved 25 total so far.
So I can move 10 back then?
Yep. You step back. No bonuses. Good to go.
Yep.
That comes to Augustus. Andy on deck.
No, I'm not going to shoot the butt. I'm going to burn enhance the butt. So I'm going to rush forward.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You rush into the same spot DeCrane just stepped out of, reach in, and fire down into the...
Clap my hands together, burn it in. This is a save for it, actually. You sure, right? Each creature,
It's a
50
dex
foot cone. Yeah, 14. Dex 14.
No, not going to do it.
Great!
I did give it disadvantage on that, given that it is in a rocky hole. Can't where they're going to go.
10 fire damage to the guy.
10 fire damage. You watch the butt grow crisper as you do singe some of its fleshy parts, and the knee that was kind of exposed, that flesh of the knee that DeCrane broke the carapace away of, you hear sizzling beneath your flame. It is starting to look very damaged.
Okay. So does this change what I want to do next? How much damage could that be? Yeah, maybe we'll try it. I'm going to send Ray with my bonus action to Flame Seed. She's just going to spin a little fireball comet at it. She's going to shoot the butt.
You got it. She flies over top, fires down.
Your spell attack modifier to hit. My spell attack modifier is +6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, 17 +6. It's probably
Yeah,
half of that.
Definitely hits.
D6, 5,
Okay.
plus my proficiency. Let me just double check that. 1d6 plus proficiency. Yep, so 7 fire damage.
Again, just hits right in the same spot, singeing away at the butt. It is still trying to dig its way out of here and tunnel away.
Great.
The attack does go through though, but it's looking hurt.
Could I just be on the other side? I had 2 feet of movement left, or 2.
I think you had at least 1 square, but I think. Where do you want to be, sir?
I was gonna try and be on the other side of that hole, but maybe I won't be able to. Yeah, if I can make it there, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Cool.
Andy.
Andy, shoot the butt.
I don't have anything to shoot the butt with.
Can't you mind sliver the butt?
I can mind sliver the butt, yes. It's not going to be very much damage, but I can mind sliver the butt.
Everything counts.
Is that the plan?
Yes, I will mind sliver the mind. That
Or you
controls
jump
the
in
butt.
and staff the butt.
The stab, it's the same amount of damage.
Whatever dealer's choice then.
Yeah.
Okay. Mind Sliver
Mm-hmm.
actually rolled pretty well. It's a 15.
It beats it.
Oh, it's smart now.
It's a smart ass. Huh?
God
Oh, wow.
damn it.
End the episode. End the season.
We can't do any better than that.
That's all for tonight, folks. We'll see you next
That's it.
time.
Okay, I'm gonna just take a few steps back because that didn't work.
Just pew. Can't you action surge? What else do you got?
Listen, I don't get up to 7 attacks with my turn anymore. That was the last campaign.
What I will say, especially seeing as Ali is not back yet, the creature looks like it is fleeing. It is attempting to dig away. Augustus, with how close you are, you're seeing a creature, like a wild creature who's been like on the attack, realized it bit off more than it could chew. It's digging its way out of here. It can dig through the rock. It is trying to flee. If you wish, you could relent and let it go. Or obviously, now that Ali is back, Enid could take her attack here and try and finish it off. It seems like it's on its last legs and trying to run for its life. As Enid, you have the chance to try and shoot down into this tunnel that it has created and take it out, or allow it to flee into the mountains.
All right. I'll do. Let's try one last shot and see.
I'm all for it. He was being mean to us. I say shoot the butt.
Yeah. He killed Toot Sweet, therefore this is for Toot Sweet.
Excellent
Revenge.
point.
I mean,
You
he'll
have-
come back because it's Toot Sweet. But
You have your hex
no.
still active on it, so you have like a direct line on it. It still gets the bonus to its AC,
Okay.
so it's a little tough to hit. But if you can hit, you'll gain the additional necrotic damage. You could use, obviously, your Deadly Strikes feature could favor foe, so this could easily be the killing blow.
18 to hit.
18 would be its AC, but with the
Oh,
bonus
really?
of the rock, unfortunately not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay though. It runs away. Hopefully.
You fire down into it, and confidently, with as it comes to its turn, it does not return here, and the sounds of the rock kind of falling away confirms, and your hex that you have active for a while confirms that it is moving further and further away. It does not come back with a vengeance.
What the heck was that?
It's just another
So
thing
Boston.
that we're going to
I don't
encounter.
even know how to do a Boston accent.
Man, we were just starting our day, too.
I thought this was supposed to be the easy day.
What's this voice now? God, let me find it again. Need some
I love that
water.
We've had so many of these now.
What if we, next time, we don't engage, we just run? Because I feel like that might be one of our strengths, is our speed.
Our strengths is our running away from things.
Our speed.
You have to know when to you don't have to take every fight, but I think in this case the problem was I still don't know which way we're supposed to be going. Just through this cave? I think it could have. Oh god, it doesn't matter anymore, right? We're past. It's run away.
But-
I'm very bleeding.
Take some time to heal.
Is it worth, or could we? Is it too early in the day to try to take a short rest?
This was like a couple hours into your day. It's not, obviously a couple minutes into us playing, but like it was a couple hours into your day. Taking a rest for like lunch and like resting and recuperating is not out of the question, out of the norm.
Okay. I'm thinking before we go into Scary Cave, it might be a good idea to rest a little bit.
It would get a lot
I
of.
have more than 11 hit points.
I guess some race stuff back. We could do it, but then also, I really liked your idea of asking the portent, or what
Portent.
was that?
No, not Portent, Augury.
Just, hey, are we going in the right direction? Are we closer to our goal? Something like that would be good.
At this point, do we have a choice? Is it still like left or right or whatever? Or is it like obvious that we're just supposed to be going straight?
So, you have no choice on this path that you've elected to head down. The bridges, these rock bridges that you've been traversing, led you to this point. There is a tunnel now that you have the chance to really like look, that does continue in the direction you were traveling, which, to the best of your knowledge, was west.
Is the right direction, yeah. I think I'm going to save Augury for if there's a case where we have to make like a choice between left and right kind of thing. Right now, it seems like this is the straight shot, but I'm definitely going to hold on to that. I like Augury.
Why don't we take a short rest here? You want to do some healing dice?
Yes, please. And I would like a spell slap back.
How low did you get, Nettie? Because it hit you, right?
Yeah. Or did it just grapple you?
No, it just grappled me.
No,
Yeah,
good.
I missed on the other attacks, I think, and just grappled her with
Yeah.
that one. I wasn't rolling very good, honestly.
Ooh,
was
I can
rolling-
get 2 spell slots back?
Yeah, I didn't take any damage actually, but I will certainly take
Okay.
back.
You can get a total of 2 levels of spell.
Yeah, I've only cast my firsts, so
Welcome back.
that's great.
Mhm.
Boink. Heal.
So yeah, if you go through your short rest stuff, obviously if you need to heal Decrane, you'll get back your marksman stuff in your action surge. So that's useful. Should that?
Yeah, I guess because I'm still at max health, but that stuff is useful.
Reload your gun, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, your gun you can fully reload. So the next round you'll have 4 shots. I don't think. Augustus, you would get wild keeps and stuff. Actually, that helps for Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I always kind of forget is like the use of your
Uses
wild
that? Yeah, exactly. I thought about it this fight to try bust out wild shape for the first time, but saved it.
1d10.
shape.
Ooh, Andy, I see your thing on D&D Beyond for the first time. It's so fun.
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I rolled in real life, and then I pressed the wrong button.
I didn't realize that fiery teleport was like an always on ability. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just that it's not very far.
Yeah, it's like a half of Misty Step, but
And it's the action. Can't do both, but it's pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
That was crazy how it was nullified, though. That just made it even more stressful. It's a crazy fight.
Yeah, there was the whole first 2 rounds. I was like, oh no.
This is going very poorly.
This is
Yeah.
bad.
I was hoping that someone would try, be forced into having to run across the left bridge because it was gonna crumble beneath you.
Oh,
That's what we kind of. That's what I figured. As soon as you
Of course.
described like a nat 20 got us. That bridge has a rock falling from it. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
no.
want the bridge.
That was fine. That was where it was
Oh.
hiding. It was in the rock wall.
That's what I thought. Maybe. Yeah.
No, when it tunneled the first time in the left path, that path
It
is becoming terribly unstable.
Cool.
So if you had run across the left, it would have started to crumble beneath you. Which was
Super cinematic though, running along this like rock
that was.
thing crumbling behind you. Like that's cool.
Should have done.
All of you kind of chill here on the edge of this cave for an hour as you take in a little rest, have some rations, and recuperate from your encounter here with this creature. Unfortunately, it did get away that you couldn't dig into like what it was, and what its potential feature of this like confusing gaze could be. But who knows? Maybe another one will show up in the future.
Maybe we'll see him again later.
Is there anything you guys do to prepare before heading off for the rest of the travel day?
Not for me.
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. Just making sure that give you the opportunity before we continue. So, last question before we I dive into the next leg here. As you go into this tunnel that is forward here, are you continuing with your light cover plan, maneuver, however you want to go about it?
I think so, because otherwise the bunnies can't see shit. Even though it's gonna like make us super obvious to anything that's coming up to us, like we're gonna be fucked. If suddenly like it's just there's just a crevasse in front of you, like they're not gonna be able to see that. So I guess maybe like I'd have to go closer out front, because so light can get as ahead of us as possible.
Sure. So for this leg, we'll say Andy and Enid are kind of out front with the boys kind of hanging in the back, but only just behind. You begin to continue into this tunnel, and the light in here does begin to expand in the space, obviously, as it is otherwise just void and black. And inside these caves and tunnels, it is where you really begin to see that gloss of the obsidian style kind of rock. And it does have this refraction of like black ice kind of refracting the light of your magical light source and ray kind of faintly all throughout. And it is this, it's kind of mesmerizing and kind of cool, if not also terribly frightening, as you make your way through. The tunnel is a tunnel, and sure enough, as you come to the midpoint, you do begin to see a faint blue light on the other side. And as you kind of come out to the other side through this this mountain pass in this tunnel, after a good walk, you begin to come into a more brightly lit section of cavern. A lot more bioluminescence here. The light begins to kind of rise in these blues and purples and pinks. Every now and again, you see a spot of kind of an undulating green from various kind of plants. You see a lot more plant life as you continue down this path. Still on these rock bridges. And unfortunately, just given the darkness, even with this kind of bioluminescence, your vision is not so far to see how long this continues. But you are seeing there's more light in the space. The caverns are lit by glowing mushrooms and these massive plants that have spores or clouds around them that kind of emit these almost like firefly lights. All very dull, but colorful and again beautiful, were it not for the overall fear and depth beneath the ground. You continue through the rest of your travel across more of these rock bridges, coming out of the tunnel and beginning to kind of wind your way through some of this overgrown underground vegetation, which is a little different, a little odd. And as you begin to continue down this path, the rock bridges themselves begin to kind of have elements of vegetation growing on it. You see fungus and mushrooms and what looks like kind of slick algae and slime in certain sections that you are careful to kind of steer clear of, though kind of curious in some regards, I'm sure. but at a certain point, with Andy and Enid out front, the rock bridges are, you're seeing an abundance of these vibrant blue mushrooms begin to really kind of populate the paths forward. Everywhere you look, you can see these, they're soccer ball sized kind of caps of these mushrooms that have this bright sky blue glow. And the closer and closer you see them begin to grow in clusters and groups. And it's beginning to force you to walk single file to kind of make your way through them on top of these rock bridges. And a point on one of these bridges, you look forward and there's no rock left to walk on. There is only mushrooms growing in an entire abundance. And you find yourselves kind of in this field of mushroom and encrusted rock and paths. Enid, go ahead and make a nature check with advantage for me.
Nice.
Okay. Hold on. One more. 5.
Oh,
With advantage?
Yep. I rolled a 1 and then a 5.
Yeah, we're killing
My
it
nature's
tonight.
+0, right?
We're killing it tonight.
no.
Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry.
We've all rolled like crap today.
You guys continue a little further into these, and it's just kind of it's pretty, it's pretty amazing just to like walk through these, and they're growing in clusters and kind of climbing sections of the wall where there are kind of elements of these pillars and columns that rise, and you see them kind of spiral up and around, and you notice too as they kind of spiral up, and you get to see kind of all throughout them. There is the cap part that is the top, is this bright blue, but as you get to see underneath some of them, there is this faint, almost like gossamer element that kind of trails and drapes down, similar to drapes or like a veil,
Like a jellyfish.
kind of. But it's less of like strands and more of like that sheet. Again, still very, very beautiful. But as I said, it is becoming very difficult to traverse forward. What do you guys try to do to make your way forward here? If you were just trying to continue forward as is, it will stunt your travel entirely. Like it's almost like a full block, extreme difficult terrain.
Just looking at my inventory here.
Yeah, I feel like cutting these things is a really bad idea.
Could we try and step stool our way over them? I'm just worried if we step on one, spores are gonna like infect us and murder us.
Step stool. What do you mean? Sorry.
Like step on the caps of them and work our way along.
You can try. Sure.
One of the little bunnies should try before the 6.5-foot lady does.
Using my staff, could I extend the staff out some on the one end and just kind of like tap the top of one?
Yeah. You kind of tap gently, and it just kind of shifts a little, and you see one of these ones that are raised up a little. You see the veil gossamer element kind of sway a little. Seems okay. Kind of give it a little tap again, and then just this faint spore begins to kind of rise. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. 18.
Okay. It rises out, and you're able to quickly kind of pull away before it gets too close, and it was slow. However, I need to be like a dexterity saving throw for me.
Can do. 17. I thought you plus 2, 19.
So, you step back, kind of, trying not to breathe any of this in, and are careful not to bump into any of the others that are all around the base, as you are trained to know, and now have experienced that contact seems to trigger whatever effect these spores may have.
Yeah.
Where's a
The worst-
flying carpet when you need one?
The worst case scenario would be hitting one and then freaking out and triggering them all, and it just being an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Sorry, just not to interrupt you, but given some contact now, go ahead and make a nature check yourself,
Sure.
Augustus. See if you can identify some of what these...
15.
A 15. After a little bit of close contact, and just a little bit more time to mull it over and think on it, the color obviously comes into play, as well as this kind of lower veil element. These are blue veil mushrooms. And blue veil mushrooms are deceptively beautiful and poisonous. And this poison, if caught up in these spores, can have the effect of extreme drowsiness or unconsciousness.
Now, I have an herbalism kit.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I'm like, could I try and take samples of this to help in the future?
Yeah, you can
Are
try
there
and
any
harvest
little,
these.
yeah, are there any little baby ones I could try and harvest? Like, imagine putting this in like a little, let's just say we end up at a dinner party and we want to knock someone out. We could like sprinkle a little bit of mushrooms in there.
One thing is you would need to get like a proper like adult size mushroom. So you got to go for one of the larger ones. One of the smaller ones wouldn't have the spore potential. You would understand that with a 15. But I do have like a foraging harvesting of like magical components that this would be an element of. If you guys want to try and go through the process.
Could you like pull like cloth over your face or something like that, like mask, so you can't breathe it in? Is it like a breathe in type spore, or is it like a touch your skin type spore?
You're not sure. And with a 15,
Let's find
sure.
out. I'll try it. Why not? Let's have fun.
Okay. With herbalism, a herbalism kit, you'll be making a survival check to try and harvest the components here. Obviously, if you're proficient in it, you add your proficiency. If you weren't, you could add. Are you proficient in herbalism kit and survival?
Yes.
So you can add survival plus your proficiency again for your herbalism kit. So
which
D20
is just 2?
plus 2 plus survival.
Okay. Roll.
Please. I will say before you roll, not that this is a huge thing, but taking the time to do this is like, it's like 15 minutes of like going through and like carefully, especially with how potentially damaging this could be. It'll take 15 minutes to like get one good sample of these. There are tons here. You could do this for a while. Obviously that what comes next is like, how do you travel with what you have here? So we'll do one at the very least.
Kyle, would this affect me? Like being drowsy and sleepy? Like
you can be put to sleep should I
Okay.
desire to. You just don't have to if you don't want to. But I can magically affect your form.
okay.
So I rolled 17.
Yeah. So you are able to gather 2 blue veil. Either you could put blue veil caps, blue veil samples, blue veil components, and anyone can go ahead and make a medicine or arcana check if you wish to see how many you'd need to like make a usable concoction.
I had +4 to medicine, so I'll try.
Go nuts.
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
So with a medicine check to make a whether you're trying to make like it's a poison, so there is a poison that causes this effect. I don't remember exactly which one it is off the top of my head, like if you were to make it, but you would need at least 3 of these elements to make 1 potion.
Okay.
So you can get, and I would say you guys can travel with like the components of like 6 of these with like the elements that you have if you wanted to go through the harvesting process.
So I basically need 1 more.
You need
to
at
have
least
a potion
one more.
of it. And that would be like enough to do our plan, like try and knock someone out at a party or something like that.
You'd have one shot at. I'll try and find what poison it technically falls under. But yeah, you'd still have to make it, obviously. But you'd have a chance at one if you get one more mushroom.
I'm gonna try it. Nettie, do you have an herbalism kit too? If you look at your kits.
I think so. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure you do.
I wonder if you could help me with this.
No, I just have a mess kit. That's the only kit I have.
A mess kit? What is that?
Mess kit.
Like what would be used for like your toiletries.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it says contains a cup and simple cutlery.
That's cute.
Oh, it also says one side can be used as a cooking pan and the other as a plate or a shallow bowl.
Very convenient. Okay, I'll try one more time. Andy, do you have an herbalism kit, by the way? Okay, I'll try one more time. Kyle, you just want me to roll a d20?
Yeah, it is survival plus your proficiency plus a d20.
This one's not as good. 14.
A 14 is still good. Good enough for an additional 2.
Great. So now, Andy, you just missed that. I just needed you need 3 for a potion. So now we have 4 of these little mushrooms so we can make a potion of this kind of like sleepy thing. Sweet. That's all the fiddling I want to do there. I'll just take one. Let's go with me.
And with all that, that is about a half hour of attempting these things and slowly and carefully doing so. And with successes not causing the spores to arise. However, there is still the issue of passage forward here without disturbing the mushrooms so that these spores are released. How you're going to do that is up to you guys. What are you going to do?
How tall are they? Like you said, were the caps soccer ball sized, but like, is there room to crawl beneath them?
Not quite that tall. They would come up. I mean, for you and Nettie, like technically,
maybe
they come up a little higher, but the veil elements hang down pretty low. So, like, if you're disturbing those would trigger, you could probably cast the spores up as well. They're probably anywhere from like a foot tall or 6 inches at the lowest to the small ones to up to 2 feet tall in some of them.
Is there a chance we could try and find a path through? It would just be difficult and very slow, filled with all sorts of risky times.
You can push through and be very careful and mindful and take it incredibly slow and forcibly fall into like this difficult terrain to move forward, or you can try and like look for an alternate path, and that would take an investigation check to see if you can find a path that is potentially better and make your way to that. But that is an investigation check if someone wants to try and look for alternatives.
Scott, do you have a fire cantrip that's distance?
Yes, that was my other insane idea. I was about to say I could try and fire some of them, but I just don't know.
Test one that's super far away from us and see what happens.
Kyle, I got 4.
Mm-hmm.
So can I sacrifice one of those? Maybe not near all of them to trigger them, but to see if they're flammable and what happens when they're set on fire?
Yeah, you can rush back the kind of cap that you've harvested with has some of the overall elements. Rush it back down the way, set it away from any of the other ones, come back a ways, and make a produce flame attack.
Yep. 14.
Yeah, you hit, and it doesn't like erupt or explode, but where it does strike, you see the spores are released, but the mushroom is destroyed. So you destroy it, but you release the spores.
How long do the spores kind of linger in the air for?
You watch after doing this, it lingers for like a solid minute or so, and it's just kind of like shifting before it settles.
There's not a lot of like air current here, so I don't know if going blazed earth on these would be. One, I don't know if August would like destroying a bunch of nature like this. And also, I just don't know how effective it would be for us.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything else I have, and I don't think I do. No one has like gust of wind or anything, right? To just
that
try to
would
like
be
keep it
cool.
away from us all the time.
I could have had that, but I didn't today.
I don't have anything spell wise. I'm checking inventories.
The only other spell I have today that I could cast, I mean, I have Burning Hands, but like I have Entangle. I could try and entangle a patch of these, but it would still like making more difficult terrain that then would fade.
We would also have to walk through it.
Mhm. Nettie could try and find a faster way around. Kyle, you mentioned that as like a possible idea, right?
Yeah, if someone wants to make an investigation check, you can look for alternate routes. Look for other paths over the edge of this one and see if there's anything else that looks less mushroom ridden.
Sure. I can do that.
That's investigation for you, Nettie.
Okay. 9. Oh my god.
It's okay. Mine's 0. No one has good investigation.
You begin to kind of take a peek around as you know, Augustus is like still working away for a half hour on trying to like harvest these mushrooms. And you're interested for like the first like 3 minutes, and you're like, all right, this is boring. And then you go off and do your own thing. And honestly, like there are other paths, like there are other rock bridges, but to get to them would cause so much backtracking that it's almost 6 of 1 for how slow you'd have to move through forward. Honestly, as of right now, like you do see other paths, but like I said, like your loss of time doesn't become a benefit here. So you're better off just being here than backtracking, provided you know you're willing to risk the spores.
I could try and find us a route through.
Kyle, could I do some kind of Arcana check to try to figure out, like maybe if it helps, I'll use Detect Magic. Like we have so much time in all of this, I can ritually cast it, and just try to see if there's anything else I can learn about these things, about like how it affects you, or like, you know, if we just need to cover our mouths, or if there's anything like that.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make Arcana. And while over this half hour, Decrane, seeing as you've not been involved in these other elements, can you make a perception check for me?
Natural 20. So that is a 25.
25.
Roll 10, and
10.
I believe my perception is a 5. Yes, 15.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So, 25 Arcana, just to see what more you can learn about the spores and the elements.
Yeah, and I'll use Detect Magic if that helps.
Sure, yeah. I mean, not going to hurt.
I don't know if it will.
This is going through the process, just to like go through the ritual, get it cast, have it up. The mushrooms themselves are not magical, but the spores, when you watch them be released, they do have a magical component to them. And you imagine that ultimately when taking these mushrooms down to create the potion, the interior, the elements of where these spores are being produced, the mycelium within is likely the core of the magical component. So while the mushrooms themselves are not magical, the interior mycelium, the elements within that would create the spores, would be magical. Watching them, you gather that it is a poison effect, and while poisoned can drop you unconscious, if you know created into a potion and ingested would have the same effect. And you gauge as best you can, like it'd be an hour of unconsciousness with a natural 20. Like you gauge at least that. I'd say with that you also have the same understanding that Augustus does with like the harvesting and creating of a potion, that 3 of these caps and the mycelium within would be needed to condense down into a potion, so you have enough for 1 concoction. But unfortunately, honestly, there's not much more that you gather from this encounter beyond the fact that this is not even so much Arcana as it is just kind of reasoning, that when one is triggered, it could trigger another in a chain reaction.
That was my like next question, is often like mushrooms are just like hair of like a underground plant. So like, is this one big plant, or like multiple? Not plants. Fungi are not plants, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah. So like
That's a cool idea.
In watching Augustus is kind of like harvesting and cutting away of the cap in the mycelium, you do see that there are elements that are tied as he kind of pulls up what would be the root. The mycelium fiber does connect to the rest of this, and they do appear to be interconnected, interwoven.
So it might be one large fungi.
Yeah.
Or one large colony. Okay.
I'm going to add one little wrench into this mix as DeCrane. You've not been involved in a lot of this other discussion and investigation and harvesting. So you've just kind of been sitting back, just watching, doing your thing. However, over the last half hour, 3 or 4 and now 5 times, something has shifted in the mushrooms. Something like, out of the corner of your eye, you watched something shift. And then it was in a different spot, and then it was higher, and then there were something kind of low that you could have swore one of the mushrooms shifted or moved, or something within. You're getting this sense of being watched.
Oh gosh.
Can I, next time I notice something, can I like try and hit it with a dagger,
It's in the mushrooms, which we learned if we've disturbed could chain reaction set off. So just keep that in mind.
But it move. So wait, it's only moving in the mushroom, or it's moving like out from one mushroom to another kind of thing?
So like think of like you're now kind of in amongst a field of these mushrooms. There are very few little bits of paths that you could try and maneuver within without touching them, but it looks like it basically fully encompasses the path ahead. You're just noticing like almost like one of the mushrooms just shifts and moves out of the corner of your eye. Like you're like, that doesn't make any sense. These mushrooms are rooted. How did it shift like that? And then what looks like something kind of pop up, and when you look over at it, it dips away, but you're never able to like solidly connect with something.
Can I go up to one of the mushrooms and kind of kneel down next to it to be face height with it? And I'll say something in Sylvan, something like, "I'm sorry I hurt one of your brothers and sisters. We really just want a way through for my brother and sisters."
There's no response.
I'll try in common the same thing.
No response. However, while there's no response there, as Augustus does both of these things, says both of these things, DeCrane, you catch another shift out of the corner of your eye in a nearby mushroom cluster. Something shift or move, or one of the mushrooms kind of quiver and move. There's no response.
I'm going to try and move a bit closer to see.
Sure. Make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
Perception, please. My investigation 0, I think. Okay, 11 plus 5, 16.
Great.
16. As you creep closer and Augustus is talking to the mushrooms and everyone is kind of doing their thing, you move your way around behind this little cluster, careful to not disturb any of the other mushrooms. And in this cluster of like 5, adult size, foot to 2 foot tall mushrooms, you see a very small mushroom that's a little different than the others. More of like a, where these are kind of classic capped mushrooms with a veil. This little mushroom looks like a chanterelle, where it's kind of more flowery and more open towards the top. Still blue, a little darker blue. And what else is odd is it has arms and little legs, and it's tucking around the back of one of these mushrooms and watching over towards Augustus from behind this mushroom.
I love it.
It's about 3 inches tall.
Oh my god. That's huge. I'm so scared that the crane saw it first.
It doesn't seem to notice you.
Do you want to say anything to it, to crane?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't want to steal
I'm like, are you trying to say something to us?
Do you just sound intimidating, or are you trying to be intimidating?
Oh no. I just sound. I'm not trying.
Just his voice.
That's why I ask. You just naturally intimidate. You do startle this little creature, and it kind of jumps and pops, and it looks back and just.
I can't. It's too cute. I cannot handle this.
So I'm gonna call. I'm just like, and then I'm gonna call one of the rabbits, and I'm gonna say, Gus.
We have names.
Gus.
I will move
You might
towards.
want to see this.
Hmm?
I feel like you might be able to
Decipher.
communicate
turn.
with this creature.
And you watch this little mushroom sprout, this blue kind of chanterelle mushroom, kind of poke its head out from around this little mushroom cluster, and it kind of steps out a little bit, kind of a little wary, a little nervous, kind of looking back and forth between you and DeCrane.
I'll kneel down very non-threatening, and just kind of wave at it first.
It kind of like turns its head and it just kind of flops, and it flops back the other way.
I will do that with my own bravadeers. Flop them the other way. Flop them that way. I will tap my chest and say, August. Sorry. August. That was tougher than I expected.
Oh, man. If we have 10 minutes, I can understand it.
Amazing. Do it. Can you talk or just understand it?
Just understand.
I say do it.
I'm gonna look at Gus and be like, maybe we should bring it with us.
I bet there's more of them.
It might
Can
be a
I-
guide.
He's like 3 inches tall. He's just like a little guy.
Yep.
What can I offer this little gem? I will
It's like
just.
a piece of food or something? I don't know.
It just kind of is looking up at you, and you're down, and it kind of takes a couple of steps forward, and like taps your paw, and just.
Can I look up to where he's pointing?
Like, are you from up above?
Oh, have you already cast this in real life? You can already understand it.
This is just... I'm just used to understanding a toddler. It's not that different.
I will nod and point up and put my paw and be like, we came from up above, and like walk along like the top.
You watch this little thing just like put its hands to its little face, just and you watch some spores kind of pour out of its head. Immediately, you kind of like take back, expecting it, but they smell kind of sweet, which is also potentially off-putting because that is also a defense mechanism. But
I'm invested. I love this guy. I'm not scared at all.
with your passive perception, Enid's passive perception, and DeCrane's, you watch these spores kind of carry away. And Andy, under Detect Magic, you can see elements of this as well. They don't necessarily have a school of magic, so to speak, but are innately magical spores. Best you could gauge would be kind of divination. School, like a divination adjacent. And you watch for a second, they kind of spore out as this little guy kind of turns and just and you watch 27, 30, 40 of these little mushrooms begin to kind of pop up and about and just kind of poke out from all the corners, popping up over little mushrooms, coming out and just like, and they all look a little different. Some are similar in these blue chanterelles. Some are these kind of morals where they're really long and tall with the kind of like pockmarked cap heads. Some look like classic what do they call fly, the classic red and white mushrooms. There are all kinds of these little mushrooms that begin to kind of come out from the woodwork and begin to kind of cluster all around you all.
August is delighted. It's just so excited by this.
Can I? So one thing I want to do, just like, so I want to pull out one of my daggers. No, sorry, not my dagger. What am I saying? I want to pull out some of my rations. And I would just like to lay it in front of them and see if they take it.
It's a great idea.
Just like,
you lay your rations down, and this kind of blue guy,
not all, just a little,
talking with you, he kind of looks over at it and looks up at you and just kind of puts his little foot on it and like tests it. Just taps it with his foot a little more, puts his hand on it, kind of rolls it around a little.
I'll pick one up, not one of these people, but I'll pick one of the rations up and just... I don't know if that's how they eat. They probably use their little soil feet, but yeah.
There's no like real response. They just kind of are looking around. And then you're watching them like in little clusters kind of have these kind of quiet little jabbering moments between one another.
Can I do one more thing?
Yeah, and then you see the blue one is kind of headed towards you with a more of a purpose. He's coming towards you with something, but
as he's coming, that's perfect. I'm going to take a strand of my fringe, like a yellow one that would look nice, and I'll just like rip it, and I'll just make it into a tiny little scarf for him, some sort of like little thing to like help identify him so I don't lose him, and just offer it as he comes close.
You lay it down towards him, and he puts his little hands out, drapes across, and he just kind of looks up a little like confused, but then just kind of does like sling it over his shoulder, and it kind of swings around and wraps around him like a scarf. And he just kind of like, and all the other ones around are just kind of like hopping up and down, hopping up and down.
I do.
And he does like a little like happy dance back and forth, and with like renewed like confidence steps up towards you, and how's he going to communicate this? He like,
I'm casting comprehensive languages. It takes 10 minutes. Let's see how long before I get in this.
He kind of gestures for you to come closer.
I push my head closer.
And he just kind of gets right into your face. Like your face is still bigger than his whole body. But Alan, he just says, and you watch more spores begin to kind of come out from the top of his kind of head.
I'll look at Nettie and I'll wink, and then I'll close my eyes and I'll just breathe in his little spores. I think this is what he wants me to do.
You breathe them in. Nothing seems to change. And then you look back down at him. He says, "Can you hear me now?"
Oh my god. Yeah. Can you understand me?
Entirely. This is how we communicate. You notice he's not moving his mouth anymore. It's now a telepathic level of communication. You may now communicate with all of us. We are the Myconids of Black Sea.
It's an honor to meet you. Yeah, Kev, go for it.
I was just gonna say, they're only able to communicate with him though, like not us, right? Like we're just.
Unless anyone else got close to that spore pile, he just did kind of a localized passage to Augustus here, who's kind of built this level of communication. But he does say, it is truly our honor to engage with you from Haven. We would be honored if you would accompany us back to our colony to meet our sovereign.
It would be our honor as well. We don't have a formal name yet, but we do come from above, and yes, we'd be honored. We were a little worried about walking through the spores and disturbing them, so with that in mind, yes, we'd be honored to meet your sovereign.
Do not fear the spores of these mushrooms. The blue veil we can tame under our spores. You and your friends will be safe. Would they welcome our ability of rapport?
I think so. Let me just tell them what's going on.
As I've just been staring at this guy talking in my head.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. You okay there, man?
Yeah. You just have to breathe in. If you're nice about it, they will release these spores, and then we can just talk in our heads.
Right. Okay. Sure.
And Nettie is... Oh, Nettie just came back. Great. I was going to bet Nettie would be the first to jump all over this shit.
To you guys outside, there's been no verbal elements between Augustus and this Myconid. However, as Augustus kind of finishes explaining this little Myconid kind of gestures to a couple of the others to go near you guys each, and one of them each steps up, and they all kind of step up and do a little wave, like, and just waiting. Or
yeah, we need a 5-second. Allie missed all of that.
Tiny pause just to explain to Allie. You do the honors.
In this field of mushrooms are these tiny mushroom folk called myconids. They are 3-inch tall mushroom people with little arms, different kinds of mushrooms. And, well, talk about this.
It's been real cute.
Until Augustus and DeCrane helped build a rapport with this one myconid, and has now translated its way of telepathic speech through these rapport spores that Augustus has breathed in, and now he can speak with all of the myconids in a telepathic way, and they are now offering to release the spores to the rest of you as well.
Nettie, do you get some spores?
I get some spores. I breathe it all in.
3 or 4 of them begin to kind of release these spores in like a 10-foot cloud radius, and you breathe it in, and you feel no different. However, suddenly, this blue chanterelle with the yellow scarf now, who stands before you with Augustus. Wonderful. It is truly, as I was speaking with your ally here, an honor to speak with all of you. Come, descenders from Haven, please. Your ally here has agreed to come meet with our colony and our Sovereign Ogril, in our home, Mycorza, as we are the Circle of the Black Sea. You would be our honored guests.
It's incredible. How far is this place?
It is hidden to many, but with us, we can reach it within a short walk.
Okay. We're quite big. Is there going to be an issue?
I don't believe so. There are passages within which we can take you that will provide access. It is not uncommon for us to host land dwellers, though it is a rarity to see those from the world above.
Excellent.
Did he say his name there? Did I miss it? Or has he not said a name?
The Sovereign Ogril is what I got, but that's the Ogril.
Do you have a name?
I am called Durble.
Durble? D-U-R-B? I don't want to insult this man. Durble.
I am Augustus. That's my sister Nettie. the guy with the white hair, that's DeCrane. You can call him DC. That's what I do sometimes. And then that's Andromeda, but I call her Andy as well. Actually, she calls herself Andy too. I just started doing it as well.
It is a true honor to meet all of you and to make your acquaintance. I am Durble, and while there are many of us, it would take some time for each of us to introduce ourselves. But please allow us to lead you through safely through the Blue Veil.
Please.
And you watch as he kind of turns back. You gather that as they all kind of begin to disperse, those that are a little further away, beyond about a 10-foot radius, you lose that speech connection. So as they get a little further, you hear back to this like, and they just kind of continue. But those who are nearby, you can still hear and understand. You watch as they begin to lead forward, and Durble kind of taps, your shin, Augustus, and just says, "It'll take just a moment for our sprouts to alert the Blue Veil with our plan.
Not a problem.
They will hold back their spores under our command.
Amazing.
Please, follow us." And he begins to lead you through, and as you begin to cross through the Blue Veil, you watch the sprouts ahead begin to emit spores that cause the mushrooms ahead, these Blue Veil mushrooms, to slightly dim, and they like almost close in just ever so slightly to allow easier passage. And none of them kick off any of these other spores. You follow these myconids, these very tiny little mushrooms, into down this long path and down to basically coast level again. You come back down to the sea level, so to speak, and they lead you around the coast and below into a kind of a sunken grotto cavern. And there is like a path that leads along. There's a massive kind of waterfall that drops down even further, and it begins to kind of wind into this tight cavern of these more obsidian pillars, until finally there is a bridge over a flow of river. They lead you over this bridge, and it seems like it kind of comes to an end in like the end of a cavern. Like it looks like there's just a cave, stalagmites and stalactites, and it seems like it should end there. However, watching all of these little myconids running ahead, you see them go into these tiny little crevices and slip in and away. And Durble leads you over into a spot where you can kind of slip through a section of rock that from most perspectives looks like a completely finished shelf of rock, but from this particular route you can actually see has a pathway into it. It's like an optical illusion of access, and as soon as you begin to cross into it, you come into another cave fully overgrown with massive mushrooms of all colors. Bioluminescent light illuminates the space in blues and greens and pinks, and there is a mass of mushrooms and plant life to the size of great willow trees, and some that just tower over these mini forests of massive morels, and many that are smaller, and there's other kind of trees and logs and stumps that you can see there are hollows carved within and light pouring from within, where you can see hundreds more of these small myconids living their lives in this little hollow in the underworld.
Yo, the home is absolutely incredible.
It is a good place, and it is home. And there's not much more than we know than in this world. We've heard many tales, though, of yours, and it sounds truly beautiful.
Can I get a vibe check from I feel like I have a good read on my boy Durble, but from everyone else as we're walking in here, are people weary of us? They seem very welcoming, but I'm wondering as we're getting closer to their home, how do other people perceive us land dwellers?
Make an insight check.
Let's do it.
And I'll add one last element as you're being kind of led in here by Durble. You're watching all these other little myconids sprint off into the little sections. Centrally, in the middle of this cavern, there is one massive kind of blue luminescent mushroom that towers about 20 feet over, and the cap itself is 20, 30 feet wide. And there's a path that like kind of rises up through the stem through to the top. Where you can see there is kind of an amassed amount of vegetation and what seems like a couple of other larger myconids up on top of this massive mushroom. Seems to be the direction you're headed. Insight?
15.
You're gathering that you guys are walking the red carpet right now, and everyone here wants to see the royalty coming down the path. They want to see this rarity, the energy is high and the interest is massive, and it is not that of fear or of it is purely like, yeah, the celebrities just walked into our house.
Cool.
I have a question about the like light emitting from this. Is it purely bioluminescent, or like when I have detect magic up, is any of it magical?
I think it would purely be bioluminescent. Like, I think there's no added magics to it here. It is just a pure natural element. You are led through the main kind of thoroughfare, and there's not so much like a city center as just a massive forest, and led up into the core of this massive blue mushroom. And in the stem have been carved like a ramp, a cutaway ramp to lead you to the top of the cap. And as you come up the top of this cap, you see before you a humanoid mushroom creature with like limbs of various different kinds of mushroom and vegetation, though does have a single kind of massive classic red and white capped mushroom atop its head. Its features are kind of like squashed, like its eyes and mouth almost like condensed and like pancaked and wrinkled as it looks at you, but beams with a very wide smile. It has a very like warm grandfatherly kind of atmosphere, though is a mere 3 feet tall.
No.
There are a handful of other like slightly larger myconids and several other that are smaller that are kind of like surrounding around, but there is an air of reverence to this singular person who you assume to be the sovereign. Durble steps forward and says, Sovereign Ogril, I present Augustus Enid Ducrane and Andy of Haven. He kind of does a little bow, and his little scarf dangles down as he kind of steps back. Sovereign.
Can I also bow to the sovereign? I want to respect the sovereign.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see Augie doing that, and I'll do the same.
The sovereign kind of takes a step or two forward. Well, this is an auspicious day. Welcome to my Corsia. I have already heard much of your conversations, that you took great care with our kind in the bridges above. That does not go unnoticed. It is much appreciated. Care for all living things. That goes a long way here.
We feel the same.
We are more than thrilled to have those of the world above visit us here, but I must ask, what brings you to the dark?
we're on a bit of a quest traveling through from the side we came in to much further to the other side. I'll be honest, we were a little worried we were lost, a little overwhelmed down here.
Well, honor us, honor myself, and allow us to give you safe passage and guide on your quest.
It's incredible.
Agastana starts crying.
Where do you intend to arrive?
Check the notes unless Andy knows.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm not good with names.
Silver Highland, blah, blah, and that's the
Our first stop is near Candorne, but eventually we need to go. Where's the other
The
place?
Silver Highlands? Or is that the other side? Did I fuck it up?
That's a
Something of crystal ice. I can't read my own handwriting.
I don't want it. My big thing is I do not want to say
They were going to the dragon.
that we're going to Clandestine.
but you say you're going to the land of crystal and ice?
Well, I'm going to start with our first stop is Candorne, and then we're going north of there and see what the reaction is.
Okay. There is kind of a step back and a furrowing of the very heavily wrinkled, overlayered brow of this creature. He says, "Our kind are not met quite so kindly in the city of Candorne."
Oh, to be honest, I think it's just like a way, like we don't have business there. It's just like we were told to go that way.
I see. You seek the lands of crystal and ice. I assume you mean the Rhyme Sphere, a domain of frigid temperatures and crystalline structure.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Sounds about right.
Sounds right. Yeah.
We do know the way, although our physiology does not agree with the cold, so unfortunately we would not be able to give you passage beyond. But if you would honor us in aiding you there, we can do so expediently.
We would be honored.
If I may ask but one favor in return.
Of course.
You of Haven are skilled in many ways in magics and in the deeds of those above, the gods and kings. Our kind have been stricken by an evil of man's making. If you would do us the honor of aiding us, I could happily guide you where you need to go within these dark tunnels.
Yeah, what seems to be the problem? We can try our best.
Wonderful. Thank you. 2 days west of here lies the Tower Grotto, a colony of ours, the Black Sea Circle, and has long thrived there until it was burned by men seeking a relic of religious significance or power. Wherever they walked, death did follow. They were welcomed in to this colony, and for our hospitality we knew only flame. Even their spores did not escape the blaze. If you would aid us in routing their presence from the grotto, we may once again thrive and feast upon their decay.
That's a little dark.
What do you think mushrooms eat?
I know.
Decrane, what are you going to say?
Your Majesty, we've encountered many creatures on our journey here, many violent creatures. Do you have any weapons or tools that we could use to help us on our journey?
Sadly, we as Myconids are peaceful creatures, and weapons are not our path. However, I would send along a retinue of our skilled and bravest myconids, whose spores and brute strength may aid you in the battles that could come, if you would have them.
How many people are we talking about in terms of the what we'll be going up against?
When they were welcomed into the colony, there were but 6.
Is there any information about what it was they were wielding, what kind of folks it was that were there, or just brute force and fire?
In truth, our collective connection and consciousness through spores, our mycelium, was cut once the flame began to burn away. But before they came, before our colony was felled, you watch as he stands back and begins to pull elements of this kind of faint spore that's like faintly kind of like almost like loosely like a crown kind of around the top of his head, pulls elements from it, and as he's speaking begins to kind of like swirl and mash and then kind of releases it into an illusory image. And you see these were the last images we received from the Tower Grotto. And you see in this sunken grotto a massive 50-foot tall tower in the middle of the water of this grotto. It's 50-foot tall crenellations along the top, this black stone tower rising from this grotto of the Black Sea. All around it you see trails and lines of burned and charred husks of vine and spore and mushroom growth of vegetation that has been charred and blackened and burned. And from the top of this tower, as you're watching the last images of this creature, you see 3 figures standing atop the tower, it kind of darkened in shadow. And as this creature, this myconid is fleeing, you're seeing the bodies burning of the other mushroom myconids on the ground as it's trying to run, and it runs straight into this large man, as best you can tell, thick muscle, very imposing, especially to this like 3 or 4 foot tall creature, easily 6 foot tall, maybe taller. But he wears a mask of bone that is the upper kind of portion of his face, and based on the image, looks to be real bone, skull that is affixed within this black. There are kind of black marks all underneath, and the face beneath you can see is either tattooed or with soot kind of caked with these kind of lines that drain down from chin to throat and across a bare chest before it brings down a weapon on top of this creature. All 4 of you go ahead and make religion checks.
Can I try and even jump a gun there? Because I got 2. Does it look like the symbol we found on those fish people? Remember there was a little skull?
It does.
Oh. I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
19, but 0 is my religion.
19 is very good then.
I also got a 19.
Okay. Unfortunately, the Herringons are not religious folk. And Degrain not necessarily religious. However, even in your training, certain groups and elements of the world would have been part of your training of like noted elements to keep an eye out for in your training with the Arcana class. Would have been trained to watch for the Shikari and obviously for mages of various kinds. And one of these mage groups, particularly villainous group. They're called the Defilers. They are also known as Black Masks in some stories and some elements. But they are followers of Nazul, a malevolent, malicious god of pain, torture, necromancy. None of the stories of the vile warden are good ones.
You all were a light in the darkness when we were feeling lost. And I personally vow to be a light to banish the darkness that has befallen your tower grotto.
You honor us greatly.
No, you.
don't.
Just bow down. I would look over to my boy too. Durable, my guy.
He's just beaming so happy.
I come from a people, we're guides. We don't ask questions, we take people in and get them where they need to be. And betraying that hospitality is not something to be done. And the people, it seems, who did this, they're in our world too, from what I understand. They are not good people. I think especially if you can help us get where we need to go, we'll see what they destroyed and see what can be rebuilt, but I think we might need to remove the infection first.
Well said. Well said. Our people can thrive even from the depths of darkness and turmoil and destruction. We are resilient if given our chance to grow. And grow we shall, he says louder to the kind of group. Our prayers, our calls to haven have been answered. The light dwellers come in our hour of greatest need. For tonight, we feast. And there's just cheers across all of Mycorrhizia.
Just tiny little, yay!
Enid and I are just almost in tears.
Dying, tears everywhere, just crying.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
Thank you, Myrtle.
What a delightful twist.
Actually, a good feast for you all. They don't have real food.
Yeah, it's
The
fine.
vibes are good.
The vibes
are
yeah.
immaculate.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That took such a turn, and I am so fucking delighted.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. They are the
I'm so happy DeCrane didn't be like, I just throw a dagger at it.
And
I was going to throw a dagger at the mushroom.
Or me set fire to everything, which is what just had happened to their group. That would have been bad. Yeah, Enid, I'm so glad you were able to. I was like, oh my god, Allie's gonna lose her mind when she hears what voice Kyle is using. He had just started using it, but I was like, she's gonna die.
That's amazing. I love it.